Echo VR to me is a promise from my childhood fulfilled.
Growing up, I was always obsessed with sci-fi and space, and when I get into the arena, it feels kind of like I was beamed into this alternate world.
I can't really sum up in words just how much Echo Arena means to me, how much it's impacted my life and how it's made me grow as a person.
Echo to me, it's more than a game.
It's kind of become like a, second kind of life, I guess.
It's a sort of method of escapism, if you get me.
It's nice being in another world, I guess. Like a place where I got to like express my emotions.
Getting away from everyday life sometimes.
Like an escape into a reality that I've always wanted to experience.
I didn't imagine something like Echo would come up. It felt like a pipe dream at some point.
If I were to explain to a stranger what Echo Arena is, I couldn't.
If you try to explain to someone, you actually throw the disc, like, okay, dude.
You have to try it. You have to be there.
The one thing that Echo has that no other game really has is the movement.
I've played so many VR games where just using the joystick to jump around feels so unnatural.
But for Echo, the fact that it's 0G and you can like use your hands to bounce off things, and the fact that when you grab objects, it collides with the nearest surface, it really makes the game feel more immersive.
No other game so far has made me feel that I'm transferring to another body.
It's a disassociation with real life.
It's so immersive that I'm able to completely forget that I'm not actually there in that environment.
What I love most about Echo is just the fact that it's not even really a game. Like, it doesn't feel like a game.
It feels like you're going outside. It doesn't feel like you're staying in the room you're in.
Yeah, forget that I'm just standing in the living room.
Whacking my walls, I've broken a controller already. I just forget about everything else.
Echo Arena is way more than just a regular computer game.
It transcends what the most people would call a game.
When you're playing Echo, you're not playing a video game, you're playing a sport.
So anyone could play Echo because the controls are super intuitive and the gameplay is very easy and simple.
You get in, boost out, throw the disc to your teammate, and hopefully score some 3-pointer or a 2-pointer.
But the more you play, the more you learn just how tiny things can affect the game.
Every time I think that I now have some solid grasp of how all of the mechanics work, I meet someone who offers an entirely new perspective.
Just the controls are simple, but there's so much you can do with it.
I could keep on making these small changes, even when you have not the disc in your hand. You can always change a little thing.
To the extent that you're training an hour a day, every day for 2 weeks, just to make a regrab a fragment of a second quicker.
The range of emotions you experience when you play this game is so wide.
It's really enjoyable because it's got all these different elements, like especially the competitive side.
It didn't take me long to start looking for a team, and this was when everything changed.
Getting to play with a team brought a whole new aspect to it.
You're in your team, you're training together, you're working to beat other teams, and when you do, you get an amazing sense of accomplishment.
It really brings you together with other people.
The entire game is based off of teamwork.
You have to be able to work with your team, because if you're an individual player in Echo, no one cares.
I don't think I would have had the same ability to work with other people under high pressure if I never played Echo before.
And I have probably met my closest friends that I'll ever have because of this game.
Other games bring people together, yeah. There's just something about Echo that does it in a different way.
I think I've made a couple of really close friendships that's gonna last far outside the arena.
Honestly, like, my best friends in life are people I've met in Echo.
There's a person that I met in Echo that I will be marrying this coming fall.
I think if the community keeps growing, then I could definitely see Echo getting some of the professional esports attention that it really deserves.
It's just insane how much it grew. I honestly believe that Echo can become like a really big esports.
And it has grown the sense of esports for VR.
I think the next big jump for Echo will be the one that just absolutely blows it into the mainstream.
In season 1 there was 15 teams, but now there's like 200, and we're in season 3.
I honestly think VR is going to be the future.
Especially when VR really takes off. I feel like Echo will be one of the top games that will be shown to people.
Because the future that Echo VR deserves is the one where the entire world sees what we all have seen, that this is the future of sport. Space. The final frontier. These are the words of Gene Roddenberry. Our parents and grandparents dreamed of going to space. They looked to the stars and they imagined galaxies worth of stories and possibilities and hopes and dreams. And our children may one day be able to visit. In our elder years, we might someday book a flight to the moon or a voyage to Mars. But for right now, while we can't yet get to space, we can do a little bit more than dream. We can wake up. Your first day in is a discovery. From the moment you first push out from your pod, you are weightless. There are no words in the English language that accurately describe the feeling of true immersion. It's like describing how chocolate tastes. Until you've taken that first bite, the words mean nothing. I remember when I was a child and I came across a kiosk. For $10, I could play for 3 minutes. It was clunky, it was heavy, and it was low poly. But it was also a promise that someday we would wake up in a future that our grandparents could only imagine imagining. That one day we could live our dreams even if we couldn't reach the stars. That future has finally arrived. Right here, right now in the present. This is that promise kept. It is that dream, but we are not asleep. Every player, every touch, every interaction is as real as you and I. We no longer need to dream. We no longer need to imagine. We no longer need to wish or hope or wait. Welcome to the future. This is Echo VR.
We practice, we compete, we go to work, we go to school. And then on Friday nights, we gather around the nest to share a few drinks, we play Echo Arena, and we laugh our asses off with each other. That's Beer League. One of the most important things I learned was that your head game, your attitude towards the game, your emotional state is almost more important than your actual skill.
Go for a long shot. It's good. Into the bounce. Just about. Right, definitely.
this game.
I got my teeth cleaned today.
You're live, so hi.
Nice. How does it feel? Are you licking them extra? Is it like?
Yeah, it's cool.
Sensorial experience. Get some synesthesia.
What's up, Sanchezy? Here's the joke tonight, Sanchezzy, Sanchez, is that I will not be playing word band. So y'all can word band all you want. I'm gonna say whatever I want.
Homie, don't play that.
Because I cannot. I do not understand the attraction to this game. Not Echo Arena, to the word band game. I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't want it. What's up, everybody?
So hi.
Good evening.
We got a game coming on.
We have a game coming on. Between the cans and the bottles. We're going to be following... I thought... wait, wasn't...
Following cans.
You said Paladar. Where's Paladar?
He's not here yet.
He's not here yet.
His team is the orange team, though.
But they have 4.
Wacky.
They already have their full team, though. That's what I mean.
Yep. So where does Palador fit in?
This is bullshit.
Yeah, you said casting Palador.
I am now protesting. Where's the riot? I need to ping riot now. Unfortunately, everybody's in the game, so it's not going to matter.
Riot.
What's going on, chat? Yeah, riot in beer league. There's a riot roll. Torquemada is here as well. Torquemada said Torquemada's word ban ended already. Although it looks like Dad put the countdown timer on anyways. But I assure you, we'll be just as not sober as we should be as if we were playing the word ban.
These are facts.
Yeah, I think you can put it up. You know what? Didn't Dad put it up anyways? It's okay. If they do another one, go ahead and put it up there. Like, we'll play along. But not really.
Play along.
We'll pretend like we're playing along. Not really. We'll pretend like we want to pretend to play along.
We can do all the pretending. Where is the disc at the moment? Oh.
I was watching. I just realized I was watching on the stream. I wasn't even watching on the spectator.
Oh, that's funny.
You ever see Aeronite play?
Like the human?
Like, live, like the human.
No, I mean I've seen him, but I've not seen him play.
He looks like he's doing karate.
Yeah.
He's got great form. He's very athletic. He looks like him and Dash have a very athletic way of playing. Yeah. And it's funny because you watch players like that, and then you watch players like Jaywalker or Game, like the top players in the world. They look like they're just hanging out.
Right.
Like they are just chilling. Their arms are by their sides.
Yeah. There's an efficiency strategy going on there.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
And even stuff that feels like it should matter and it doesn't. So like when I block, when I put my shield up,
yeah,
I do a boxer's block. Like I block as if I'm, like how I was trained to block by like a boxing trainer. You know what I mean? Fists in front of the face. Right. Protect your chin. That kind of thing, right? So there's that version of block. There's also the other version of block that people do. They come up out under the chin because it's the shortest distance between where your hands are rested and where your shield is. Game, in fact, does more. He brings his hands all the way up to the top edge of his headset, like the top edge of the front, and he brings his wrists in as if he's doing the crying, like he's miming crying.
Yeah, like all the way up in his face.
But he kind of curls him in as if you ever see someone like boo-hoo, boo-hoo, they do that.
Yeah.
He does it's almost like he's doing that, but like up above, up at the top. It's interesting. It's a totally different way of shielding, but it works for him.
Interesting.
And it's stuff like that, forms that,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it feels like these forms should matter.
By training his neck down, too, he's closing the gap with the hands.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you can come to these different ways of executing the same thing.
Right.
You know, because a lot of us, being raised on, if any of us were trained for sports, we tend to rely on those. We tend to kind of lean on those lessons. It's like when I throw the disc, I'm throwing it like a baseball.
Yeah.
That's because that's how I was taught to throw. That's how that's when I was 12 and 11, 10. That's how they taught me how to throw.
Yeah. Me too. I just threw discs for 17 years after I found my sport. So I definitely still throw this disc like a disc.
Do you really?
Not the backhand. Never, ever, ever the backhand. That doesn't make any sense because the backhand is all about putting spin on a disc.
Right.
And there's no spin in Echo. So, I mean, there is spin, but it doesn't, there's no drag.
Right.
So, yeah, but man, I still throw with Frisbees. I throw a disc, like I would flip it over in my hands and throw it upside down, but just like from my left shoulder forward. It's a really quick release throw. I do that all the time in Echo. Just like a little push pass.
So wait, how do you do it?
Yeah, so if you're throwing a flick, right? So you're throwing with your right hand. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Right-handed, great. So you're throwing a flick, and then you just flip it over so your elbow is staying connected to your body, and you flip over so now your hand the disc is upside down and it's on your left side. And then you just push it forward like 1 foot and release the disc.
Okay, yeah.
Put enough rotation on it, it's upside down. It's called a scuba in Ultimate. And I do that throw all the time in Echo. So I'll catch the disc, just a real quick, like 1-footed, quick movement to like push the disc. It's not very very fast of a throw, but it's a very quick release.
Torquemada is choosing violence right now.
Choosing violence?
Yes, he is.
It's
Although
a choice.
I've been using the term esport in reference to Echo. I've been saying I've been calling myself an esport caster. Although I really just want to say a VR sport caster.
Yeah,
but
for sure,
it's not an esport. It is an esport, but it's not an esport because it's also a sport, and that's why it's a VR sport. It's not an esport.
I'm on VR sport club here, for sure.
I mean, because when you think of esport, you're thinking of a specific thing. There's like a thing. There's already an association there.
Yeah,
and it's not this.
This is definitely unique to that.
Yeah, this is not
got some connections, but it's also got connections to hockey.
Yeah, hockey, basketball. There's so many sports: hockey, basketball, soccer.
Yeah.
What's the one with the shit? It's the Native American sport. Well, the Native North American sport. Lacrosse. Thank you,
Lacrosse. Nice.
Lacrosse is another good one.
I mean, any martial art or fighting art is in there.
Yeah.
For sure. I think you could even say dance, especially if you look at, oh my gosh, what's her name? Finn in Europe. She's a dancer.
Is she? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got him out.
Yeah. It really made me think of, she was in the finals, I think 2 seasons ago. And it made me think about like Emmett Smith. He used to dance. And that was one of the big things that, like he said, made the difference for him as a running back, is that he could move around anybody because he had rhythm and he could dance.
Yeah, I heard about that. I've heard offensive linemen taking ballet.
Oh yeah,
So they could learn to kind of like basically controlling your center of gravity almost. More control of your center of gravity. That is.
Lacrosse.
That way.
Did you play lacrosse? Have you ever played?
No, but that's primarily because that sport requires quite a bit of running, and I am not. I was never one to run. I hated running. I kept telling people because like I was a big kid, so like obviously the football team wanted me on the football team.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's negotiate. I will be on the football team if you don't make me run. And they were like, well, you have to run. I'm like, well, I don't want to. They're like, you have to run. Then I'm not going to play football. Like, like that's how this works. I hated running. Now I'm not. Now I don't hate running. I should run. I should jog or whatever. But when I was a kid, I fucking hated running.
Yeah.
performance tab.
It's not an attitude I encourage.
Like, rise to 5, 3600, or...
I'm not gonna say that.
Get out here,
This is my discretion. I'm saying no.
I forfeit this round.
Twerk meta is really just trying to start a fight tonight.
I mean, you could. This is like, you could omit. You could rewrite.
I'm not even on your team.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's
right?
you know, I wouldn't say it's an extremely athletic sport, but there is an element of activity to it.
And athleticism, absolutely. 100%.
I mean, there definitely is, especially when you watch players like I said. What's up, Fadon? I mean, you watch players like Arrow Knight or Dash.
Right. I mean, we're gonna see a lot of it at the LANs coming up. Like, we're about to. Lots of people are about to have that opportunity to get the experience of witnessing other people move their physical bodies while playing this sport.
There are 4 LANs coming up over the next, like, what, 3 months, 4 months?
Yep.
1 LAN every month or something. There's one in January, February, and March.
Yep, for sure.
And there's one in the UK. I don't know when that one is.
I don't know about that one.
There's one over. It might not be the UK, but it's in Europe. Well, Europe or the UK. That's right. They're not the same thing anymore.
Yeah,
That's not funny.
So my question is, who from the US is going to go?
I know Powder's going to that one.
Powder's?
Yes, he is.
By the way,
at least
Powder
he's
in the
talking
game
about it.
now. I'm
Yes, joined.
Yeah.
Turns out we weren't lied to.
We weren't lied to. Forgiven.
Oh, I'm not going that far. What is going on right now?
What just happened? That was 40. What?
Dipman is officially garbage. So you know how I've been saying that Ignite losing the finals was, kind of immediately threw a multiplier on Game's value as a player? That play there immediately threw on a negative multiplier to Dipman's value as a player. I need a soundboard. I want a button that when I press it, it goes roasted.
Oh, Jesus, that was possible for me.
Extra sound effects. The bounce. Bring the bounce back.
And you did that? Yeah, listen. This is not that counts, right?
Yeah, that's Redshift Land in January. It's Tyro Land in February. Nepa Land in March. And the UK Land June? May? Something like that? Is there a 5th?
The March. I can't come to St. Louis. I'm gonna be in
Vermont. St. Louis. It'll be interesting. There's a lot going on. Also, the fucking the first one, the Redshift Land, is landing at an amazing spot. It's right at the end of the Pro Series and right at the begin. What looks like is going to be right about the beginning of the VRML season. So it's like landing right at like the vortex of those two leagues, one finishing, one ending. Like, so there's going to be so much activity around Echo. There's going to be so many eyes on Echo, and I think that's going to be. I think that's going to be really good for Redshift Land.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that it's definitely an all boats rise there. All the leagues are going to get a boost in attention. I think that the VR equipment's going to continue to improve and become more accessible, and the reach is just going to continue to grow. I mean, this is a great game. It's here to stay, and everything around it is just going to step up. The number of people, the quality of the equipment, everything. It's an exciting time to be here.
Where's the chat? What? No, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. That's really funny. I wasn't even watching the stream. Oh wow, round one's already over. Excuse my coughing. I shouldn't mute. But there's 11 people here. Only 3 people have typed yet. One of them's not even here anymore. And why are there only 11? It's beer league. It's beer league podcast. Where's everybody?
Where is everybody? What in the world is going on?
What is this nonsense?
Is Gil's night off, not the rest of you.
I didn't tweet it. I'm gonna go tweet it.
Get in here.
I'm gonna tweet it.
How do you say this? Torquemada?
Torquemada. I've always said Torquemada.
Torquemada.
Or Torquemada. I sometimes say Torquemada.
Are there lots of other events going on tonight?
I have no idea.
That's what it sounds like. Torque. Nice. Thank you. TGI Torquemada.
Hi. You were stunned for a long time on my side, but that's, you know,
The shielding.
The game's kind of weird sometimes.
That is something I am not very good at doing.
I was doing. Oh, great! I was gonna tweet this.
Chaotix double pump right there. I love that. She pumped, and then turned and went. And I'm sure they moved on the first pump.
I'm so sorry.
Excuse my typing.
Yep. Pump fakes.
All right. I can stay back the whole time.
I think she got a little bit lucky that they didn't come out and try to thump her on the head.
Oh yeah, you can't miss now. I don't believe. I'm not a man. I'm a dog. Hello. Let's go.
There, I tweeted it. I twittered it. It's twittered.
Dangerous territory.
It is twittered.
Although I really appreciate the compliment.
Very good.
Damn right. The only time I goalie I know. You're by far the best Echo goalie on PEI. Whoa, that's fair.
Arrow Knight is talking some garbage right now.
Oh man, the notorious garbage talker, potty mouth. Hey, he's not.
I thought you were calling him notorious garbage. Nailed it.
Landed it.
Oh, I'm doing it again. Oh, I missed.
There's another double pump. All right. I'm noticing a trend.
Link sucks.
It's the night. Oh. Okay.
No, you didn't. Back here, like.
What are you calling?
Oh, I hit a bouncy thing.
Oh, damn it.
What do I call?
You said you were calling it. What were you calling?
Oh yeah.
Double pump something or another.
The double pump. Yeah. I'm looking for him. I'm on the look for the stat of how many double pumps tonight. So far we're at 2.
It's okay, Zori doesn't miss these.
It's a slow start, y'all.
Dip.
Good save.
Let's go. Now. It's yours. I'm home.
You know what, Torque? I would love to see an alternative game mode that is 5v5, but where the 5th player is a goalie who they can't, if they leave the bubble, they can no longer shield, but they also get like a blocker, like a hockey style blocker on one of their arms. That's it. That's all. That's it. Basically, a perma goalie mode.
I know who you're talking to, but love you too. I got a 3.
Perma goalie would be interesting. I wonder, I wonder about how that would be.
I also wonder.
Would you make them bigger? Would you how would you change the mechanics?
I was just give him a blocker, and also chest collision.
Oh, like give him a shield of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah. And give him a what?
Chest collision.
Yeah.
Like so where
right.
where the disc will bounce off the body.
Yeah, makes sense. That makes total sense. That's a pretty simple.
We still don't have that.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know if we'll ever get it. I would love to see it though. It would necessarily, although only on a very minor scale, but it would if you looked at the averages over time, we would see fewer goals. It wouldn't be that many fewer, but you would see fewer goals.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see chest saves.
Huh. You don't want to see chest saves.
I do want to see. I would love to see chest saves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also want to throw.
You could probably block with your chest after you're stunned too, or would it blank you out?
Yeah, no, I think because you can still go off your head when you're stunned.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. It freezes you, but you still got your chest.
Arrow gets one now.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. It would be a great
love that.
buff to goalies.
So I keep wondering, why the heck do we have feet anyway in this game?
See, I actually have a suggestion in that regard.
Yeah.
It's what I suggested a long time ago. It doesn't get much traction, but because you're right, there is currently no purpose.
You're going toward fuzzy tails, right?
No. It's currently the only purpose they have is to serve allowing the other team to grab onto you.
Yeah, right.
Which is so. I think feet should be a feedback. Basically, when you squat, your legs in game should like crunch up. Should like, you know what I mean? Go kind of into a squat, kind of not necessarily full squat position, but like, you know what I mean? Move into that direction. Kind of, they get kind of squatted up a little bit.
Yeah.
And same when you hop, I don't know how that would show you would show hop. Maybe like I don't know.
Fully
But, like,
extend. I mean, they're kind of bent all the time, so I think that they would extend.
like kick out. Yeah.
Yeah, like kick out. Yeah, exactly.
So like that kind of, so then they would have a purpose, and it would give you feedback. It would nerf. It would give. It's a slight nerf, but a minor nerf to preloading.
Yeah.
You know, you would know. Oh, he's squatting as he's coming in on me. He's about to jump.
Yeah.
Like, because you might set up for a squat.
So so it's just a matter of plugging it in. It seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
I've made the suggestion, the official suggestion, but
That's all you.
So it's a lot of work for. Well, it's also, it doesn't seem like it would be a high priority.
Sure.
But
I mean, don't you think we'll get there? Like, let's imagine the future Echo. Like, what does that look like?
Well, I think we have to get there because right now the whole ragdoll thing.
Yeah.
For us, because we're used to it, it doesn't. It's not a big deal. It's just part. We can we translate we translate what the bodies are doing in the game into like a specific into a thing. Like there's a meaning to it.
Yep.
You know, it's almost like a language, where if you look at a foreign language, it's just scribbles. But if you look at a language you understand, you know, there's something there. But so to an outside observer, to someone who's not, maybe has only played the game a couple times, or doesn't play the game, is curious about watching it, it kind of gives it sort of a, like an amateurish, I don't know if amateurish is the right word, but like an unpolished look. Because it's because the bodies are so ragdoll-y. And especially like when you're juking, like as you're spinning, like say you're juking and spinning, like anchored on the floor, like you're spinning around, juking, that kind of thing. It just looks, because there's no momentum on the body. There's your legs don't trail you. There's no, you know what I mean? It's stuff like that. It's like a little extra polish to the models, to the rigs, to whatever, to the way they move in the environment. I think we go a long way in selling the game to a broader audience.
I agree. I'm excited to see it.
Ooh, Chicago.
You say it's your kind of town?
That's all I have for you.
Well, I didn't say it on I didn't say it on stream, but I'll say it now. Yeah, Chicago, my kind of town. That's like, isn't it? That's a song, right? I think it was Sinatra.
Unfortunately, I did push the
Wow.
wrong button, so my bad.
Wow.
We didn't hear you say that you hated teenagers, so it's fine.
Look, even teenagers hate teenagers. What can I say?
It's dude, we were all buttheads. Come on.
It's that confidence. It's that confidence they have. You know what I mean? That naive confidence. I was gonna say ignorant, but that's kind of strong. That naive confidence. Yeah, I always remember when someone said like, cause you tell like you tell a kid like you think you're invincible and you're not. I remember as a kid hearing that and thinking I don't think I'm invincible. But then you get older and you look back, you're like, oh my god, I thought I was invincible.
Yeah.
I really did not think I was gonna die, and there were definitely situations where I could have fucking died.
Oh yeah. I definitely had some experiences where I was like, oh shit, I am invincible.
Oh, you are invincible?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, there have been moments where I've been like, oh man, I'm not invincible, and then something magic happens, and I'm like, oh, I just missed a bullet. Yeah, maybe I am, like, maybe somebody is looking over me or whatever. Like, whatever the story is in that moment. That is a great pass.
Oh, you slut. Oh, what a clear arrow. That's so unfortunate.
I didn't hear it. I missed it. It's okay.
I missed his toes.
Halidor, nice ding. Fantastic ding. I've ever since that ever since I had that abscess, the abscess tooth, I like so I had this. It was actually hell on earth. It was absolutely horrible. But it made the right side of my tongue, the whole right half, go numb. For like after it healed, like the tongue was still numb, and it took weeks, like months, for the tongue. It kind of like receded slowly to the right side. So like from center to the right, like it started receding away. I started getting my feeling back from the center outward. Nice goal to end the game. Yeah, and
that was fantastic.
As everyone knows, the last goal wins. So
double their score.
There you go.
Was it. They totally win that round.
That is was that cups? Sorry, cans. Cans win round 2. No. Cans won round 2 because they got the last goal.
I'm declaring it.
That's beer league rules. You didn't know that, Newton Dad?
Do I need to take down the indicator?
I have no idea.
Here, we'll give him one.
No,
anyway.
let the score be exactly what the score says.
There you go.
That's totally fine.
It's 2-1. There you go.
Yeah. That's totally fine. And we're gonna totally celebrate. Yeah, they nailed it. Wait, they only did 2 rounds, right?
They only played 2 so far.
Okay. Somebody pushed the wrong button.
Probably.
Somebody on Orange Team is yelling about
Dude,
something.
can you still headbutt those buttons?
I don't think so.
Because I came out of my launcher once and I just wasn't paying attention and I hit restart with my head.
I've definitely like accidentally like kind of just letting my hands hang down. I've caught it with a finger. I've never caught it with a head though.
Rookie mistake. We all do it.
Although something about watching beer leagues tonight makes me I really want to play.
Yeah, you're itching to get in the game.
Yeah, I haven't had the bug for a long time, but I've been getting it lately.
I bet somebody's gonna bail. You're gonna be in we're gonna be looking at a 4v5, and you're gonna have to sub for a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see.
No, it's always said best of, but didn't do best of.
I mean, we have pull me in for the cast channels, but you know, why shouldn't it go the other direction? Casters get to jump in the game.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Yeah, break the meta. Has that ever happened, Newton Dad, under your watch?
I threw it wrong. I missed it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, do it with the microphone on. The stream
Boom.
can hear you.
Pass.
Hi.
That would be an official no.
How you doing, cutie?
Oh my.
Though one time Sputnik Cobra did go all the way from the RPL game cast into the match. He literally jumped in and subbed because we had too many. We had an extra caster, and he's like, "I'm gonna go play," and
Yeah,
he
dude,
did his,
I
he did his
can't,
Sputnik
I
thing.
can't watch this team play 3v4.
I think he did that once in VRML.
He did not.
I think he did.
Was he a league sub and casting?
It was his team.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, I think it might have been Redshift.
go
Like
get
way
it.
back.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know.
Wow,
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm making stuff up.
Oh my god.
Is there an
It's-
archive?
it sounds
of
familiar,
it
though.
In like, is somebody keeping a video archive of all of that's
Of all
gone
the
on?
Sputnik things.
Just
hope
I
they
mean,
do.
there's so many moments that could easily be turned into a 20-minute montage right now.
No, there's no one actively keeping up with that stuff. But there's so much stuff like that we could do if we did keep up with it.
Go.
Like there's a lot of really funny compilations we could have and cool compilations.
Yeah. I've worked in film. I've been an editor on kind of a bunch of things in Lanzin, and there's a whole Discord channel for creators, video creators.
But yeah, we also have the creator team in VRML. There's a whole group of Lanzin's. Well, Lanzin's in there now.
There you go.
He wasn't for a while, but he is now. And a whole bunch of people. Also,
I'm assuming that's like after the
what's her name? Yasifax. I don't know if you've seen her videos on YouTube. Really? You haven't seen? Oh, dude, Yasifax and Richie are the two. They're both from
F-A-X?
Yeah, it's YASAIFAX. If you've seen the video that they play before Beer League, it was played tonight.
Is that her?
No, that's Richie. But they both have that really good editing styles. Like they're both just naturals at it. They also work together, as I understand it. They do stuff together. But Richie, not on the VRML team. Yasifax is.
Okay, let's go.
And they both make just beautiful, really good echo edits. I mean, they're both so talented.
Nice.
Nice.
And
Taldor hits the underhand. Where is chat?
Where is chat?
That was a nice play. Also, how is he playing on a CV1? He got some hell of velocity on that underhand.
I don't know.
Yeah, you just gotta bait people.
What is that? Is that a crab? Oh. Okay, it's been long enough. Do you know where the crab thing came? I haven't asked anybody yet. Where did the crab thing come from?
Yeah, I mean, I know most of the story. Go ahead, Sheepsknuckles. Go ahead and say it.
So the only thing I've imagined is that it's been the shape of the blue crab and the orange crab, the shape of the goals. They look like crabs to me, so I figured.
Crab gods, yeah.
Yeah, I figured it was just crab gods. Somebody was like, they look like crabs, and everybody was like, crabs. Wah!
It mostly came out after the last camping trip. Everybody memed on that pretty heavily, and ever since then, the crabs have been ever present. They're lurking in the shadows of the Beer League cast.
Okay, so I didn't realize. All right, I never made the connection with the
for a while
the blue god and orange gods. I never saw them as crabs.
Yeah, gotcha.
Interesting.
That was just my assumption, though. So Noon Dad, you're telling me that is how it went down?
Yes, as I understand it, I wasn't there.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, I was at the camp out, and we definitely were goofing off about crabs. I don't know how it started though. So I'm making some assumptions there.
Dude, at some point I'll hit that sick under the shield shot, but this year.
Yeah,
just
all
get in there and
Look at
start
this
wiggling
community.
around so you cover more space.
What are we doing with our lives?
Watching video games.
It's so much fun, dude. One of my favorite parts of seeing Echo players in person during that camp trip was that you can see the way they move in the game in their real bodies.
Yeah.
Like when they're just hanging out. And it's weird to like identify like a movement of a body like the shape of a person's face. You know, like that kind of defining, like you can recognize them in that way. It's such an interesting way to connect. through body movement.
It is. No, it is. No, I agree. It's sorry, I got distracted.
It was all good.
First, I was messing with the window, and then Brooke might have asked me a question, and now I've completely lost the plot. Shit. Yeah. 8-point lead to Bottles.
Yeah, there's been
I knew
a
what you were
little
talking about. Son of
stand on the Bottles. Bottles have been standing up.
So Torquemada asked, he asked Gil last week, so he wants my answer. Nova was 2-1 in league play lifetime against Wireless Shacks, hardly convincing record. Which team was really better? Today, I would say I really don't know. I don't remember because it was long enough ago that I don't recall. But I can tell you, at the time, I would have told you absolutely. At the time, I would have acted humble, but I would have genuinely believed that Nova was better. Now, whether or not that's true, I don't know. But I would have believed at the time. I can tell you, I did believe at the time that Nova. I thought Nova was like the best. I thought our potential was just like sky high. It was very hard to convince me that anybody was really better than Nova.
Yeah.
You know, I would act, humble about it. I wouldn't be like, we're the best team, but like in my mind, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, well, you were.
Well, no, that's not true. No, we were not. No, we got. Did Master Tier didn't really exist in the way it does now. It did exist back then, but it was different. It's also a lot smaller. There were only a couple Master Tier teams, like a handful. What we got? I think we got into the top 15. Or did we get top? Well, I don't think we got to the top 10. I think we got close. But then we broke up.
Nice.
It was fun though. We definitely had a lot of potential.
Oh my god. Send it. Am I linked?
We did also have 2 goalies.
Ow!
Me and us both played back.
Goalies?
Yeah. Me and Essen were both goalies.
Oh.
Both still are goalies. Although he's active. But yeah. No.
The big question. Here's the one. This is the one that that I really want to know is Palador's back in the game. He's back in the arena for matches. Are we going to see you again out there?
Not in that capacity. No. It as a fleeting thought, it's crossed my mind, but no. It's not something I'm going to consider seriously at all. Like I am playing in the Snowflake Cup. Me and my brother Broman are paired up for it.
Sweet.
He's 20. Shit. I'm pretty sure he's 8 years younger than me, so he should be 27.
20 shit is basically what you would say.
What year was he born? 93. I think he was born 93.
Cool. Awesome. 8 years between you guys.
You watching? Is Broman here? Shit. Me and him are paired up for this, so I still like to play. I still want to play, and I want to play competitively.
Right.
Like I really look forward to a ranked mode. Ranked game mode. So so I can actually play competitively without having to. Because otherwise, I'm given the casting thing is really like it. That's something like. There's a genuine thing there, that I can't. If I any. I'm now at the point where anytime I'm not putting in all the relevant time to that's available, I'm like working against it.
Yeah.
So if I'm playing, I'm not casting.
Yep.
And I need to be casting.
Yeah. Got to keep your head in the game. In the one game.
Graduated high school in '93.
Yeah.
I was class of 2004.
Okay. Yeah, Torque said married in '93 in response to the '93 discussion.
Damn, if I'm old.
Wow. The year
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's at home.
Pretty sure it was 93. Could have been 91 or 92. No, it's definitely 93. It's not 30.
Stick with 93.
I know he's not 30. Yeah, when I was in high school,
I'll
Limp
also run
Bizkit
the
was
latest
hot.
weekend. This is
Yeah, with a minute to go, they definitely won the game. Although I think we're going to be sticking with cans for the evening.
Well, it's still last goal, right? That's what matters.
Still last goal, and the last goal, I don't know who the last goal
for the real winning decision. Oh, and the open. Oh, wait. Oh God.
Of course.
There it is. Good game.
Why am I so bad at this game?
Where'd Vert go?
Limp Bizkit. Speaking of, they put out an album.
Yeah.
Just like in the last month.
Oh, really?
Yes. So they put out a new album like was it 10 years ago? It was terrible. It's called Golden Cobra. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. This one they put out this year, it's actually pretty good. If you were into like original Limp Bizkit, which I absolutely was, and I still am, I think their second album is a masterpiece, unironically. But this new one, it's great. It's absolutely great. And it's very self-aware. It is very self-aware. Like he knows. Like they know what their role is, and they don't care. They love it. They're banking on it.
Right.
Your cam is on.
What?
That's messed up.
My mic was off, but your mom is on.
Why would you bring my mom into this?
Why would? Okay.
Mama
That
joke.
is absolutely messed up.
Hey, who's this guy? I've never seen him before.
What guy?
Sheepsknuckles. We've seen you, Dimwit. We know you.
We've seen you.
Oh, that's why I was confused. Well, Sheep was on the thing. Was it yesterday? No, Wednesday.
He was on
There was a panel on Thursday.
Yeah, you were running the panel.
I was running the panel.
I had it on, but I wasn't able to watch because I was streaming. I was casting that night, but I did have it on, so you did get the +1 from me. I just couldn't. I couldn't actually watch it, but I did have it on.
What'd you guys talk about?
I think that we could feel your spirit there.
Well, I wanted to still support, even though I couldn't actually watch it. So I do intend to go back and watch it. I just haven't been able to get to it yet. I'm busy this week. But it was what was it? Well, it was something safety in VR, something like that.
It's the XR Safety Initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a nonprofit puts on an event, a Safety Week event, all in VR, all about VR, and we talked about VR sports and inclusion and some of the strategies that the leagues have implemented to create a more inclusive environment.
That's good. That's good shit.
Yeah,
we need that because I know, as well in life as a large man, but even in the game, just as a man with a manly voice, it's shit I don't even come across, like let alone have to deal with. And it's easy for someone like me to totally like just not be aware that there are even problems.
Yeah.
Because in my 5-foot radius, there are no problems. You know what I mean? But look at me. There tend not to be problems. I'm just, and that sounds like I'm saying I'm a tough guy. I'm not saying I'm a tough guy, but like, you know, it's not some. I'm not getting catcalled. I'm not being harassed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody's harassing me.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
Yeah.
So it's something. So it's important to get that stuff out there, especially like, and I love it. Like from the other end of it, from the promo side, the number one team over in NEPA right now, like and we're not just talking. Like we're talking. Like far and away the number one team in NEPA in the Pro Series. The absolute like the number 2 team is not close to number 1. Number 2, 3, and 4 are close together. Number 1 is in it. It's just like Ignite, just like Joker. They're kind of in their own realm. It's Game, Saluna, Rosie Hope, and son of a. I know who it is. I know they're 4th.
Yeah.
I know they're 4th. He was on Synapse. No, he wasn't. Acorn. Was it Acorn?
I don't know.
Shoot.
You gotta.
Pretty sure it's Acorn.
I got nothing for you there.
Haldor just called me SirDimwi.
He did. Thoroughly.
Not on Synapse. Who is it? Caption? It's not you, is it? Caption was on Synapse.
Who is
It is Acorn. Okay, yeah, not on Synapse. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Not so yeah, it is Acorn. Those four, but it's awesome that the top team, the far and away best team in that league, is 50% girl.
Yeah.
That is so awesome for our sport.
It's so awesome for our sport.
That is so awesome for our sport.
Yeah.
We are
awesome sports. Period.
The sport. This is the sport of the future in more ways. It's obvious. Yeah, it's great for sports. Period.
Yeah.
But I'm when it comes to Echo, I am tunnel visioned. This is all I care about is Echo. Well, not really. All I care about is Echo, but like Echo is all I'm really focused on, and it's just. It's such a it's like the level playing field. It's not the right word, but
I get your like.
I hear Powder saying my
in what
name.
you're saying. It's like that the opportunity is there to create.
Yeah, like
opportunities
Just like Santa.
where other maybe communities haven't have a more tiered opportunity set up.
I would say because of that, it's even more important that we have those conversations.
Yeah.
Because you don't want anyone to be able to say the girls would be there, but you didn't give them the avenue. They didn't have the avenue. They weren't allowed to play. And everybody else, like you want everybody there. You want everybody involved, and yeah, it's
Absolutely.
Echo's awesome, and the panel stuff was awesome. It's important. Yeah,
it was fun.
Watch Yerma in season 5. Is that your team, Torquemada?
That's Queen Cap's team.
That's Queen's team. That's right. Your ma. Yeah, that's right. Your ma.
I'm just.
That's what their team name is. It's your ma.
Your ma.
Like your mom.
Yeah. There's the Hoosiers.
The Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Vaguely, yes.
Indiana University.
Yes.
They their ultimate team is Hoosier Mama.
Nice.
Seems reasonable.
Nice.
Which is what that's one of my all-time favorites.
What's up?
Green, Lit, and Skittles.
You were really quiet.
All up and coming up into the sport. Lit?
Hey, there you are.
Who's Lit?
Lit's a teenager.
Someone says Lit, I think of Chocolate Lit.
It's
Is
not
this
chocolate.
like
No. This is a.
her name is Lit?
Teenager named Lit. Yeah.
And you can
Oh,
invite her
okay.
to my team.
Awesome.
She's pretty new and she's definitely up and coming and going to be a player for sure.
Dope.
Fantastic.
That's awesome. We need that shit. It's good shit. It's the good stuff.
It's the good stuff. It's the
That's
real
that high quality
Questy
H2O.
revolution.
high quality H2O. I think that there was a call earlier. I think Torque asked you to go Howard Cosell on us.
Who? I do not know who that is.
Never heard of him.
Howard Cosell?
Howard Cosell.
Howard Cosell.
Wow.
He's one of the most. I guess like.
Are you having to Google
He was
him?
an announcer, sports announcer.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Howard Cosell.
Okay.
Coming to you
hang
live.
Hang on.
From Indianapolis.
So the Cosell story of the week. Howard Cosell was on Monday Night Football 40 years ago, I think it was, in 1980. The night that John Lennon was shot. It's literally, he was the person that announced to the world that John Lennon was shot. Because
Okay, follow-up question.
he was
Follow-up
a
question.
broadcaster of broadcasters. He's the broadcaster of the 70s.
Follow-up question.
Go ahead.
Who's John Lennon?
Shut up.
No, Imagine's one of my favorite songs. Of course it is.
Imagine
No,
trolling Newton,
joking.
Dad, like you have.
No, I didn't know. I did not know who. Maybe I've heard him and I just don't realize. You know what I mean? I probably have, and I just don't realize it.
The funny part
Yeah.
about Cosell was he was not a big sports nut. He was just the voice.
He was totally
And he had
the
a
voice.
dry sense of humor, and he had a real kind of dry delivery, and he would be silly, and you're like, he's picking on somebody, but you can't really tell because he's just that dry.
Yeah. I think he was clever too. I think he knew who he was talking to, and he knew how to deliver.
Yeah.
Yeah, deliver his way.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, Dimwi, we were talking about earlier about your voice, and I think that you are getting, like, yeah. I mean, like, I complimented earlier your rhythm when we were off air. I'm just gonna say it again, like, you got great rhythm, but like also there's a quality to your voice that is, it's a stamp on Echo in the early years, right? It's like it's defining of this. Of what the sound bites are for Echo in the early years. You know, it's awesome.
Yeah, for somebody to call you the Cosell of Echo, that's a high praise.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know what to say because I don't take compliments well. So thank you.
Tell them to fuck off.
No, I don't want to do that. No, it is nice. No, I appreciate it.
Imagine just.
I have to refill.
Does anybody use the word?
By all means.
The symbol.
But imagine like.
That's how he hit his inflection points that made him a legend, Sister Ivana.
So far, half my team is.
I got my teeth cleaned today. I think I said that already.
Say it again. It's worth saying.
Off mic as well.
There was off air earlier. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, we got to catch everybody up.
Dibs Colin.
I have a sub to Weirdest Media. Why am I seeing 4 commercials again?
Did your sub run out?
I don't. It must have. I thought I had one.
Where's Whip when you need her, right?
Doing casting.
She's playing.
Tore my world asunder. All right, sorry, I'm back.
Looks like we got all 10 of them at least almost fully nested
We're about
here.
to nest up and clink here.
Nesting it up, getting all rubbing elbows and punching each other in the face and stuff.
I have more in like name ideas than I know.
I need less.
That's another thing. When I stun,
Yeah.
you gotta be. You know, it's fortunate I currently live alone because when I stun, I don't. It's not. I don't know what other people do. I know what I do, and I like
Full
one of my
swing.
favorite. Yeah, it is a punch.
Yeah.
I am punching you.
I am punching the lights out of you.
I am punching you. My favorite thing to do, and it feels so satisfying, but it also feels so violent, is if I catch your foot, you know what I mean? Like you're flying by and I happen to catch you. And you do that thing, you turn and you climb up someone and then clock them in the back of the head. Like that's what I do. I climb up and I bop. You know, I do like that bop. You know, it's so violent, but so satisfying.
So satisfying.
So satisfying. And it's a full swing. When I stun you, I have punched you in the face.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking lacrosse earlier. Like that's a sport where you can deliver a blow. You know, and you got stick. You're going like up against each other hard.
That's why I kind of wish I had played like hockey. I wish I had played a more physical sport.
Earlier, did you actually end up playing football?
Did we actually clink already?
I played only in middle school.
Okay.
Only in middle school. In high school, no, it wasn't. I was, of course, exaggerating a little bit, but it was. I just hated running, and so I had to make the choice, band or football, and I was like, well, band doesn't make me run, so that's basically why I stayed in band.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have been all about football. But at the same time, you know, kind of looking back, you know, had I made some sort of, even if it was a minor career, some small like, played in college or something. Not saying a big college or anything. But like, let's say hypothetically, I'd made a thing of it. I was so keen on like the guy stuff that like almost the toxic masculine stuff, the like, you know, going head first, you know, doing like the stuff that's actually bad for you. Like I would probably have some concussions. You know what I mean? Like cause I would have been over the top. I would have been too aggressive. You know what I mean? And it would have been. I probably would be paying for it now, had I gone down that other road. Even if I had never gone pro, which I never would have. I'm not even 6 foot tall. I was not going to go pro as a football player. But it was a way of. I loved hitting. You know, I loved hitting people with the pads on, and I was too aggressive, and so I probably would have been paying for it now, had I actually gone down that road.
Yeah, I think that some of that pain does you pay the price. I mean, I've got a broken ankle and a torn knee that both have been repaired from football, from international football, soccer, playing goalkeeper, in fact.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was rough. That's kind of what got me into VR is that I had 3 surgeries for my ankle, and I didn't think I was ever going to run at all. I can run now and play, which is awesome. Yeah, I thought I was done, so I was like, okay, well, I better figure out some other activity that's going to keep my attention. And I also was a tech nerd and a business dork. So then when I found VR, I was like, okay, I want to make a business out of this, but I don't know how. And I started just putting the business together. And next thing you know, here I am casting on Beer League and hanging out with some of the coolest people I've met in the last decade.
You know, I can relate to that because it was this. I go back and it's something. I'm actually I kind of want to. I'm gonna try to start using TikTok and I'm more like kind of like a storytelling, not storytelling, but like kind of like share my journey in all this like this casting thing. Because like a few years like in 2017 because I got into the game in 2017. It was August of 2017. I can pinpoint the month. I don't know the day, but I know the month. It was August of 2017 when I started playing Echo, and I remember I was still working at this pizza shop that I stopped working at this place that year, the end of that year. It was like December of 2017. So the crossover was only like 4 months of me working at this place, and I remember sitting down with my boss, like we were both on a smoke break. This was back before I quit smoking. I quit smoking in October of 2019. October of 2019. So 2 years later. Don't smoke. Holy shit, don't smoke.
Don't smoke.
Yeah. So I have engaged on TikTok a little bit. But I want to use it in a more like TikTok-y way. When I found, I distinctly remember sitting outside on this break with my boss, going, I feel like it doesn't feel like it's just another game. I feel like I discovered something. Like I feel like I discovered. Those are the words I used. I feel like I discovered something.
Discovered something, right?
Like it didn't feel like I had just found another new game.
Right.
Like I discovered something really new.
Right.
Like next level shit, and that's what it was. And for, at that point, I was like, and I remember thinking like, it was kind of like, it wasn't so much a conscious thought, but the overall effort was, I'm going to be a part of this. I don't know how, I don't know in what way, but I want to be a part of this in a very real way. And that led to just playing. At first, it was just playing. I just loved playing the game. I just played. I tried to find tournaments here and there. I wasn't good at. I'm still not good at networking. So I didn't have my friends list was barren for like a year and a half, like literally maybe 1 or 2. And then it was Beer League. Beer League is when everything changed because of Beer League. Because after so many years and the player base was still kind of smaller back then, everybody kind of knew everybody. So they had Essen and a couple other people made Beer League. And someone was like, yo, you should join us. And I was like, yeah, invite me. And that's when suddenly I was finding the competitive players and I was joining a team and all that stuff. And that's how I got involved in the competitive stuff. And then it was by pure chance. I never planned on being a caster. There was never a thought in my brain growing up where like, I'm going to be a caster, I'm going to be a broadcaster, I'm going to be a play-by-play guy. I'm going to do sports. There was, I might have had a fleeting idea once. Maybe I could do that, but it was never like. I have no idea how to get there. I have no idea the path. It was this far off fantasy of an idea. And then it was preseason of VRML. It was they had the caching applications. I didn't sign up initially. Because I was like, I'm playing. They don't want someone who's playing and they don't want someone who's playing at the same time. They're just going to want casual. I'm like, I'm not going to sign up. But during that first week, it was like 3 or 4 days later. Palador on one of the casts said, we're still looking for more casters, so go ahead and sign up. Well, it's open for everybody. I was like, you know what? I'll go ahead and try. And it was just that. I just kind of dipped my toes in, and very quickly realized I really enjoyed it. And if you go back and listen to my first cast, it's so not me. Like it is not. It's boring. I am so boring in that first. Not the whole first season. I get better as the season goes on. I kind of start figuring it out, in that first season. But not to a degree. But that first cast, it's really boring. But that's kind of how it was. I started playing. It was way back 2017. I felt like I discovered something, and I just wanted to be a part of it. However, I was going to find my way to it. I wanted to be a part of it.
That's why it's called seasons, right? Because the more seasons you get, the more seasoned you get.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. That's awesome. That's a fun story. the path that that like mysterious path that takes us where we have no idea we're going, and how when we land somewhere and we're like, how? I mean, I think that David Byrne had it right. He was like, wait, how did I get here? This is not my house. And what is this life that is going on in front of me? How did I get here?
That is how it's some days it feels that way.
Yep.
Yeah, and especially the one thing because there's also I always worry because like, is this just a pipe dream? Is the prospect of making an actual career out of this? Is it a pipe dream? And it could be. It might actually be. You don't actually know. But there's that. Fuck! I forgot what I was gonna say. I totally lost my train of thought.
It sounded like you were going on the path of talking about how you can aspire towards something, but and then I didn't get any of the but.
Yeah, I mean that's
It doesn't have to be a but. It's okay for that to be the end of the story.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember. I have no idea.
Nice pass.
Also, Matt Miko says, Dimwi, it's never too late. Oh, shit, I missed it? Hold on, I'm watching stream.
Yeah, Alduin just picked off this pass. Literally, it was a clear, and Alduin yells, nice pass, right?
And you got a great walk on that, too.
You were the one that freaked out saying, oh no, he's there, so I thought
That was good. That was a good walk. That was good camera shot on the stream. But Matt Miko telling me it's never too late to play hockey. I've never even been ice skating.
That was a great angle right there. That was.
It was, wasn't it?
I've been playing with the disc cam a lot, and I'm going to be using it in season 5 because season 5 is going to be the year of cool camming stuff.
All right, I'm clipping it because God, that was good.
So yeah, I can pull onto this individual cam where the disc is in the middle. It stays in the middle, and we track the disc.
So I've been saying it. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. Another score. There's some glitches to it where it still goes into the back plate sometimes, and it'll go black and it jumps a little bit. But yeah, it's a neat shot, and it's definitely different. I'm trying to use it sparingly, but it's fun.
I think it's wonderful. Yeah, and that particular moment where it came straight, like we had the goal that was the target in sight the entire time with the disc.
Yep.
That was just that's really beautiful.
It's trained straight on it. You can see it coming in.
It was perfectly trained, exactly.
I had it. Shit. I lost it.
You're okay, Dimwi.
I just clipped it. I got it.
I am out of it. I'm really out of it tonight.
Like a straight down angle?
Where are you out to?
Left field.
It's a good place to be. Kind
Good
of
place
out
to
there. This is definitely a more
Outdoor
skillful
singing.
orange team.
Score from under the goal.
He pulled out an angle. I had to jump to get my headbutt.
Dimwi, I'll say this, that I like hearing you cast and seeing the community grow. I definitely have a desire to get my cast voice on and play around with and improve it, and like if I might even sign up for piano lessons because I was like, man, I need some rhythm in my life, and I've always wanted to play piano. Like if there was any, nice headbutt.
Wow.
Wow.
No, I'd say absolutely do it, especially with how open the VRML casting team is now. Like it does require Powder now has it set to you have to submit something.
Yeah.
Some sort of like not like an audition reel, but some example of your attempt to cast, and it doesn't even have to be good. It just has to be an attempt. That's a lot of the applications in VRML come down to effort more than anything else. It's really just it's a matter of effort. But once you're on the team, you can be as casual as you know what I mean. Like if you just want to do one a week, literally one game. Hell, if the only thing you want to do is cast your buddy or say your son, you know what I mean? If that was literally the only reason you wanted to be cast, so you could get you like the idea of it, but you don't really want to do it, but you still want to do it, and your son plays, I'm gonna cast my son, like that would be fine. You know what I mean? Like that Thursday nights with fucking whoever and their kid. You know what I mean? Like it's Powder's vision of things. We have our disagreements, but his vision is very clear. And it's very open, and that's kind of the VRML philosophy, is that very open sort of like it's inclusion. Inclusion is the word. Inclusion in VRML, inclusion is the word.
It's always just been me dragging my feet. Palador and really everyone in the community has always been encouraging. You know, Gil has encouraged me to put some things together. I think that I just lack
execution is the hardest part. Getting over that first step.
It's exactly it. It's execution.
It's you know, and I have the same issue. It's like and everybody has this issue. I've noticed, especially kind of being at the in a somewhat leadership kind of role, not leadership, but like in a kind of, but seeing things from a higher level perspective, like a management, not management, but that kind of sort of that management level sort of like umbrella look at things.
Right.
And how many folks will have a great idea, but just don't execute on it?
Yep.
There's so many great ideas out there.
Potential. They even might see how it's put together, but not execute on the steps.
Yeah. Like I'll have someone DM me and be like, "Hey, I've got this idea for a thing." I'm like, "Go, all right, do it." Like, well, I was hoping you could. I'm like, I'm too busy, but you've got my support. I'll network you. I'll give you connected with anybody you need. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what a shot!
The game's really fun. I know that we're not like talking about the game, but dang, there's been some wonderful plays this round.
That was nice as well. That was with like 22 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, there was a headbutt off of a initial throw that was fantastic.
That was nutty.
That's a game winner.
Yes, it was. That was round one too. That won them round one. This might be a competitive matchup here.
Yeah, this could be a great round. A good setup here. Ink had a really great talk. Took two of them on. Pulled the disc out.
Cheesy, save your channel points.
He's banned the word I. Will put it on the screen. I will put it on the screen. That's what I will do.
There we go.
See, here's the thing. Whenever I say I'm saying AYE right now. So
I Captain.
Like yeah. Like yeah.
Like yes.
Yes.
I will say when I'm saying I am referring to the eyeball in my head.
There you go.
Which makes my sentences really wacky if
odd.
you really tried to read like that.
I want to go out to dinner. No, not me. My eyeball wants to go out to dinner.
Exactly. That's just odd.
It's easy. You know what? I wish I had I wish I could send you the like in chat. I could put the GIF of the king, the corrupt king in Lord of the Rings, who's corrupted by Saruman.
Yeah.
And he says, "You have no power here." Yeah, that's what I want to throw in your face right now, Sanchez.
The one does not merely walk into Mordor. One does not merely ban words that are used.
Have you watched that Wheel of Time? Are you a book reader? Have you read Wheel of Time?
Wheel of Time. It keeps coming up. This is like the 5th time in the last 10 days that the Wheel of Time has been in my eardrums.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it's time.
You ever read it or watch it?
I will probably watch it and read it at somewhere along, we've been through this. Execution is my issue. So, like other people reading it at the same time or people being into it and talking with me about it, that definitely will get me doing it.
There's only 6 episodes of the show out yet.
Nice.
I haven't seen the 6th episode yet. I immediately have fallen in love with the show.
But if we're getting into shows, hold on. Have you seen Arcane yet from the League of Legends community? From the League of Legends Pantheon, whatever universe?
Oh no! And I can't. I won't be able to. It's a cartoon. I can't. There was at some point in my life, I just cannot watch it. South Park, my favorite show.
Yeah.
Even to this day, it's my favorite show. I have a hard time still watching it because it's a cartoon. There's something that got turned off in my brain.
Yeah.
I can't. I really wanted to watch that too.
Fantasy realism. I will say it's an art style that you will believe is real. It's the most unique animation I've ever seen in my life.
It looked like it. Like it looks really good. I might have to just I might just have to force myself
because the story is so friggin' dope. I mean, it's 9 episodes to begin with, right? So they're breaking norms already. But then like I mean, every step of this story just is beautiful. And we were talking earlier about inclusion and about highlighting women. There's like, I was counting the lead characters in the story, and I'm like, there's like 6 women and 2 guys who are really significant. Maybe 4 or 5 guys, but whatever. Like, there's like really
No, I get your
powerful
point. Yeah.
female representation, and it's amazing to see a story told with that much like vigor coming from the feminine.
No, I haven't played. I have years ago. I played League of Legends. Not a lot. I played it for a short time. But I do play Teamfight Tactics, which is the dude. I love that. I love it.
It's like
I didn't.
Legends.
Yeah, I absolutely love it, and I knew nothing about I didn't know any of the characters or anything going into it. I didn't play this past the set 6. I didn't play the first half of this one. The second, I didn't play the second half of the last one either. But I got up. Where did I get to? I know I got into the top 2% at one point.
Nice.
The last time I was playing. But anyways, I don't. Shit. What were we? Oh crap. I don't remember. I had a point. Son of a bitch.
Crap. You
but,
had 29 something.
Yeah,
So
well,
it's-
apparently I've said I 29 times. At this point, we're probably at 36.
I want the knife.
But Milk Daddy Flex asking, and I don't know if Milk Daddy's still here, and he did get an answer. Milk Daddy Flex asked, anyone know if you play this game sitting down? You can. Most people don't, but people do. People absolutely do, and you can still play competitively sitting down. There's certain moves you won't have access to just because, squatting is something you can do in the game, hopping, sidestepping, but you can still lean, you can still duck to some effect. And
No, totally effectively. I used to run a birthday party in VR experience where we had dodgeball. It was a game called Spark, made by CCP Games.
I played it because it was made by CCP because I used to play Eve.
And it was an awesome game, super duper simple. And the girl that I had a birthday party, and it was boys and girls, and the one girl who had a broken leg, who was on crutches, sat in the chair, and she won the whole tournament.
No shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, okay, like every idea about what is fit or how you can do things, like it all just was like, okay, I don't know anything.
That game made me sweat.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it's my shoulders are really strong, so I've not really thrown my arm out, but man, I could have. I definitely swung my arm so hard in that game that, yeah, I was moving muscles.
And that one also, like, when you were waiting for a match, you sat outside and you watched other people play.
That's right.
Like,
Or
it was built-in spectator.
Throw against the wall, either way. But yeah,
oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I wish that in Echo, in the lobby, that you could watch a game that is the size of the model that's in the lobby room.
You know how viable it is? It's literally replay viewer.
Right, and it's just replay viewer. Like, I would be fine if they weren't
With the
live.
toys.
Yeah. They're just,
Yeah, you don't need how their bodies looked exactly. You just need to know where the body was and where the disc was, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's literally what it is. You're basically recording the game and replaying it 5 seconds later.
Yeah.
That's basically what's happening. And it's so you're getting, it feels like you are watching it live. And it would be so, it seems like, obviously, I don't know because I'm not a programmer. It seems like it would be so simple. It's probably not, but it seems like it would be. It seems like it could be. And hell, here's the thing. If they didn't put player names or anything on it, you wouldn't know whether or not it was live. They could play old games.
Right.
You wouldn't have any idea. But they could still give you the effect of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? They could just not say anything and just let people assume they're live.
Absolutely. It would still get the satisfaction of people enjoying a moment, watching at that level. Like I love that about Spark, that you stand outside the arena when you're waiting. And if you're playing, I played a tournament where you had 4 people in an arena. So you would literally watch the 2 people in front of you, and then you would round robin. And while you were waiting to play those guys, you were watching those guys.
Yeah. That was one of the coolest little things, and it immediately kind of like, I don't know. There's something about that it makes it feel a little bit more real. I don't know if that's the right word, but or authentic.
Multiplayer game, so it was one of the first interactions that I had in VR with other people. And
because CCP was
like it's just
early
a
in VR.
You're just grabbing or releasing, and then everything else is swinging your arms and dodging.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was a really smart move. I wish that CCP would come back into it because I think that they've got like the solution they came up with getting in the VR game. I think was
CCP. They. Did you ever play Eve? Were you ever into their other game? Were you ever like? Did you ever follow them?
An account, but I had played maybe 2 hours at max.
So I was around. I played. Oh my god, I don't know how many hours, but holy shit, I sunk life into that game. Like a lot. Like I'm a multi-billionaire in that game. Like I am. Like I don't ever have to mine or produce anything ever again if I don't want to, and I could blow up ships every day. But anyways,
can you imagine if that was all crypto back then?
Dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyways,
then we would be president now.
I can't. I hate Bitcoin. You know why? Because all I can think is, man, if I just bought a few back when, just on my shit, just
my
because,
wallet and put nothing in it,
like,
wallet.
Dude, if I just, I just have that thought. Like, if I just bought a couple, they were so cheap.
Yep.
They were so cheap. If I just bought a few and bought something stupid on the internet and had the leftover change, like what? Anyways.
Oh, man, it hurts. It hurts to hear you.
But CCP. So way back, this is a story. This is a story. It's a full-on story. So I played EVE Online. I started playing EVE Online in, I think it was 2004. I'm pretty sure it was the same year I graduated, but like the fall. I think it was the fall. I graduated in the spring of 2004. I think I started playing EVE Online in the fall. I think it was October. Might have been August. I think it was October. There's an in-game like start date. Like it tells you when you started playing, and I always knew when my birthday was.
Give you the count.
And I definitely played for over 10 years. Like not consistently, but off and on. But back in way back in like 2005, 2006, they started doing something called. It was nicknamed colloquially. It was called walking in stations, but it was. They actually called it shit. I can't remember the name. I can't remember what they actually called it. But it was basically, so what they were doing was they were basically giving you avatars for the first time. Like they were giving you it originally in the game, and now they've reverted back to it because of what happened. Originally, you never left your ship, literally ever. You would just swap ships, but you never actually left your ship. There was no body, and that's where the lore for pod pilots kind of originated from. Is like because you never left your pod, so you never left your ship. There was no body. Well, they decided a few years in they wanted to give us bodies, so they created an entire. They full on. They didn't just because they had huge vision back then. They didn't just they didn't take Unreal Engine and start making stuff in Unreal. They literally built their own physics engine to give us walking in stations, to give us avatars in the game. But they were investing a ton of resources into this.
Yeah.
And so that was obviously resources not going to the main game.
The downfall of the game, right?
It wasn't the downfall of the game. The game is still actually really active, relatively successful. I don't know when their peak was. I know their peak was after this, so it wasn't the downfall of the game, but it was bad. It was so they're doing all this. They were also investing in it was Vampire something. Midnight The Masquerade something or another. It's some really popular vampire RPG series, like tabletop RPG series, and they were wanting to make a game for that, and they had all this big vision of like permadeath and this and that. And at the same time, they were also kind of talking about VR a little bit as well. I'm going to do this and that with VR and whatever else. This is also like not long before they did the crossover with. They made a console shooter, a shooter game for console that was set in the EVE universe. Dust.
I heard about that. What was that called?
Dust 514, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and that was a good game.
It was a good game, and it literally so you could call in an orbital bombardment, and it was players in EVE firing shots into your fucking shooter match.
Oh, no kidding.
Like cross-platform. Yeah,
integrated.
legit. It was fully integrated. Yeah, as I was flying around space, I would see the players from the console game in the local chats because they were on the planets in the system I was in.
So
it was really wild.
This cross-platforming is one of the things I'm most excited about for VR in the near future, is seeing games that allow you to be mobile or on a PC or in the headset, and you play different roles depending on what device you're in.
Oh, there's some cool games out there that already do that. But I'll just finish. I'll try to finish the story pretty quick because I know I'm long-winded as hell. So all this is going on. So this is before Dust, but Dust was kind of in the pipeline. This is before they really got into VR, but that was all in the pipeline as well. While all this is going on, a big portion of the player base was really angry about the fact they were investing in walking stations. They didn't want them investing in that. They only wanted them investing in improving the base game, which is what they do now. But this internal memo leaked. While they were working on all the walking and station stuff and the bodies and the avatars and whatnot, they were also working on microtransaction model. and when they released the first iteration of walking and stations, they also at the same time released the first iteration of their microtransaction store, their MTX store. And people were fucking pissed because they hated the store. It came out of nowhere. We didn't know it was coming. There wasn't a warning. Just suddenly, you could pay $100 for an eye patch. And it felt very greedy. Literally, like a week or two later, a memo leaked that was called Greed is Good. And it was one of their higher-ups made an argument, was making the case for selling their like clothing, whatever it's called, the clothing accessory stuff. They was making the case for doing that at exorbitant prices. Like of being like, I mean, the memo is literally called Greed is Good. And that caused a fucking explosion in the community. Massive rupture. It was bad. And that's when they killed walking in stations. They killed Vampires the Masquerade. They started investing less into the VR stuff. They were still doing VR because there was still some possibility, but they've since pulled out of that as well. But it was massive. Like everything they were working on, they killed. They had spent 2 years developing their own physics engine, a beautiful physics. It was gorgeous, and they killed it because of the reaction to this microtransaction store that still exists.
So
the one thing to survive was the MTX store.
Economics cause creativity to get completely blown up.
It was wild. It was
deleted. That's so sad.
But they have since reverted. Like they did kind of go back to, they stopped like trying to change the game in that way. Now the game is they continue to put expansions out every year, as far as I know, and it's still really. I mean, if you're into that kind of game, it's still a really good game. But yeah, they had some drama in their past. There was also a time they had some of their employees were in an alliance, and they were seeding original blueprints to their alliance as devs. Like they were basically cheating using their dev powers to give their alliance. It was wild. It was a whole scandal. Anyways.
Wow.
Now that I've
there you go. That was all in the late 90s, right?
No, this would have been 04, 05, 06, 07-ish, that range.
Okay.
Probably more like 05, 06.
Yeah, I took an interesting break from the gaming community from 1996 to 2009 when I circled back to gaming. So there's a big chunk that I missed.
It's interesting. I hear there's people like Cool Whip's another one who talks about how like she left gaming like she stopped gaming for a while and now she's back.
Yeah.
And it's interesting hearing people's stories like that because it's always been, I've gamed less at certain times, but it's always been there.
Yeah.
You know, of course I don't have kids yet, but you know, because that
to hear like Gilligan's story, like never gamed before, and VR and Echo Arena is like his entry point.
Oh yeah, that's why I call him a Luddite. It's like he had no sense. Now he has a much better sense of technology. But when I first met Gil, he had almost no sense of technology.
Okay, that's a whole episode. I imagine he's told the story before, but
It's not much of a story because I don't know if Gil's much of a storyteller, but it's kind of like something you piece together. Like he wasn't a technology guy. He wasn't like he's out in the boonies. He probably didn't get fucking high speed internet till 5 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that,
Yeah.
So yeah, VR was his first foray. Yeah, and I always thought that was interesting because he's so into it. And now he's really into gaming. Like now he's really into gaming generally.
Yeah. He's a full-on gamer now.
Yeah, he's playing Skyrim and the space one. Shit. No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I missed the boat on No Man's Sky.
You really didn't, because when it first came out, it was nothing as like. Do you know the story of No Man's Sky?
No.
Oh, this is gaming drama. This is like gaming drama 101. No Man's Sky is one of the most interesting stories in gaming because No Man's Sky was a Kickstarter. It was a Kickstarter campaign that they had like this grand vision of this game. This really it's basically what the game is now is the vision they had then. And so they had all these backers, all these people put into it, and when they finally released the game, like the initial release, it was so far away from what they promised. There was this massive backlash, and it was used at the time as like the premier example of a Kickstarter of a Kickstarter failing, of like failing the
fraud. Like
that was what was alleged by the player base. Yeah, basically. So, and that was the reaction. Now. They continued, but they kept working. And about a year or two later, they had gotten the game to a point where it actually was what they had promised. And so like when they first released the game, they were like, we're still working on all this stuff. Like we still are going to deliver on what we promised. But nobody was listening to them. They just were calling them liars. And so they kept working on it, and it did turn out to be the game they promised years later. And so it kind of like the lesson learned initially has since been turned on its head, and a different lesson kind of got learned of like some studios do mess up, but aren't really out to screw you over.
Right.
They really do want to deliver.
Human beings making computer games.
Exactly. And it's very interesting. But it was when it first came out, man, the backlash was bad.
Yeah.
Like death threats, review bombing. Like it was bad. It was really bad.
That sounds horrible.
It was, and I'm surprised the guy because it's like one guy kind of like heading the whole thing. It's not one guy making it, but it's there's like a figurehead. I'm surprised he had any interest in continuing on because like he publicly
he probably took it on the nose.
Oh, yeah, because it was his face. It was his face out there, his name that got dragged. But now he's like he got the redemption.
Yeah.
Now everyone, not only did he do what he promised, but now everyone also on top of it feels bad about how he was initially treated. And it is a good game. It turned out to be a good game. I've played it a little bit, only in VR. It's not one I ever played in the regular way. I didn't get too far into it in VR, and it was mainly only played with like Gil and Venom and them way back. This is back. I think I was still on the. No, I would have been on the Rift S at the time, yeah. But back probably 2019. Maybe 2020? No, it was definitely 2019.
Nice.
It was fun. It was definitely fun.
Is there a game that you've played in non-VR that you would want to experience in VR, like obviously translated in the way that you want it translated?
This isn't my answer, but it's relevant.
Yeah.
City Skylines VR just got announced like 2 days ago. And that I'm kind of really curious. I'm unironically curious and interested because I recently just started playing City Skylines, and I really enjoy the game. And then literally like in that month, I started playing it. It's been out since 2015. I started playing it a month ago, and since then they announced the VR version.
Yeah, wow.
So I'm really curious about that. I think it's going to be kind of gimmicky and funny, but I think it'll also be probably a little fun. Uh-oh. That's not good. But let's see, a game.
In 2022.
So
The Quest.
I used to, I would have in the past, I would have said like, yeah, like Fallout or stuff like that. Now I have no interest in seeing games like that in VR. GTA, they announced GTA for VR, San Andreas.
I did hear about that.
That was when they announced the Facebook Connect, or well, Meta Connect, or whatever they call it now.
That is exactly what we're going to call it from now on. It's, whatever we call it now.
Whatever they call it now.
Because everyone is saying it. I mean, it should basically be Meta, whatever we call it now.
Yeah, it's like Meta or whatever.
It's kind of a great subtext because it's basically what they did.
Yeah.
Meta.
Yeah.
Whatever we want to call it now.
Yeah.
You can fill in the blank, like whatever.
Shit,
what a word, anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, really, like when we're in spatial computing, like the need for word, written word, and I mean, spoken word is always, I think, going to be needed. But even still, like I think VR is going to teach us ways that we can communicate that are bigger than the ways we've been communicating with words. Like we look at the internet right now, and it's written word primarily. That's shifted a lot to visual and to video a lot in the last 10 years of the internet.
I know whatever you're talking, what you're referencing right now is something. Whenever it happens, I'm not gonna understand it.
Yeah.
One, I'm gonna be at an age where it's hard for me to learn new things. Two, it's gonna be foreign. It's literally gonna be foreign.
Right. Well, you already experienced it. I mean, it's what I was talking about earlier, where you notice the kind of gait of a person's head and arms based on what you see in the game, and you recognize it like a person's face, right? That kind of communication is what we already see. We just don't understand it yet, I don't think. I mean, it's like a mixture of proprioception and all these other cognitive concepts that are really kind of beyond me as well. Like neuroscientists and behavioral scientists are the ones that know all this stuff.
I was gonna say, I figured out what just happened there. You've gone so far beyond me. I have no idea what you're talking. It's like the words you're using right now.
Out of your mouth.
Well, here's the thing. I recognize the prefixes and suffixes. I don't really recognize the words.
Language-ish.
It's funny. I have been told I use too big words. The words I use on cast are too big sometimes.
No, that is not.
Funny.
That is not even a thing. That's like the moment in Major League, which you probably haven't seen.
I have, but it's been a long time.
Where the dude hits a pop fly, and the guys in the stand go, "Too high," and his brother looks at him and he goes, "Too high? What do you mean too high? How can it be too high?" One of the best moments in movie history, right there. You're welcome.
I'm trying to get the joke. I'm doing the thing again.
If you hit a baseball high,
right,
you can't really be too high. Like,
right,
you could be not enough arch,
right,
go the distance, but being too high.
Is that the crux of the joke there?
The best jokes are the ones that you gotta explain. So
I know. I'm sorry. I'm not hitting them tonight. I'm fucking out of it. I'm telling you.
Well, that could be in. No. Angles.
What's up, Gator Rich?
Gator.
Welcome to the show.
How's Florida?
I'm gonna be in Florida in 2 weeks.
For what?
Christmas. This is my mother.
Very nice.
Yeah, North Florida. I told her I was like, I'm coming to your house and then going nowhere else.
Deal.
She right now has COVID.
What's that, new dad?
I was saying that we're between the second set and third set, so this is typically where we would take a break.
Yeah, I could go for a break. I could go for a quick break.
So
break time.
No break. We'll be back.
I'll be in Mariana, Gator. Cool.
Our outfits are matching.
So let's bounce out. We'll put you on the break scene for a couple minutes. We'll be right back.
Cool.
There's you.
It's me.
Cool.
It's me.
What's up, cool?
I'm cutting. No, okay. I need to play with the person. Oh, I need to hit reset.
Hi, Dern.
How you doing?
I'm darn good.
Oh, it reset. Oh.
Is my bot on? Is that what
So we're missing Jade? I invited Jade. I don't know if he declined it or what. Well, you know, he's special. That's an understatement.
I gotta go pee.
You know he's drunk. That's also probably an understatement.
I gotta go pee first.
Oh, I accidentally invited Dip Man. Fuck. He'll figure it out.
Did somebody invite Jade and
Yeah, just invite Jade.
and Daylight?
I invited Daylight.
What is up? My orange
Que
people.
pasa, moo? Well,
what's up, Psycho? Looking psych-adorable. See what I did there? That was like your name.
So full
I'm
Your
back.
name and then adorable. See what I'm saying?
I'm gonna crunch on some potato chips.
Yeah, we're lurking the game, so you know, mics are on. Kind of chilling with Smooth Riding here, watching him spin.
Oh, you're in general chat?
No,
Or
no,
in
we're back in the game.
Oh, good. Wait, I
Mics
are
hot,
see.
so we're in there.
I see. I see. I see.
I don't know. Green Bean's muted.
Green Bean.
Smooth
Bean, baby.
is here.
Hey you. Hey you there.
PTF, come back here. Come here.
Did you see how that disc was thrown? It was like facing a weird direction.
Yo, I'm in New York again. Are you really? Where you at, homie?
Well, poor Cans, they've been struggling all night, haven't they?
Cans have been, roughing it. Are you drinking out of a can or a bottle?
Me? I'm a refined person. I'm drinking out of a wine glass, red wine.
A wine glass. I think that counts as a bottle.
I think that's puts me in bottles tied. Yeah.
Puts you in bottle.
Makes me a winner.
You walked right into my fist.
For sure.
You weren't moving.
You walked right into my fist.
Oh no, wait. Are we? Watch.
I have done that.
Bottle side looks like they got a stacked team. We got Whip,
Oh,
Prime,
yeah.
Smooth
Look at that.
Riding, Daylight, and Jade Michael. I don't know how they've done. They haven't said anything yet.
Move it. You gotta move it. Why am I just figuring that out now? Why have I never?
It's definitely the party squad.
I guess.
Party kids.
So, you got a wager? You think Dimwi's gonna get to don the headset and fill for somebody tonight?
I'm not feeling it now.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it.
Not often can you go from the caster's booth to the actual match. I mean, you can go to the after party.
We're missing the orange team.
There you go.
There's a sense of duty, though.
What?
Hey!
Sense of duty.
There's a sense
right
of
there.
duty. Duty.
I said duty.
I did say it twice. I said it 3 times. Yeah, there's.
That's one of the best scripted lines in any animation that's ever happened.
Is it Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah.
Those are cartoons I can watch.
Oh my God, we got
Okay.
There's certain like the Pixar shit.
So good.
And like I can do Disney princess movies.
Yeah, so you got to give
Interesting.
Arcane a shot.
So wait.
Really want,
You
I
can't
want you to
do
watch
anime.
it. I want you to tell me.
Let's talk about this.
Oh,
Then.
I've never, even when I was younger, I couldn't do anime.
No anime, but you'll do Disney?
Yeah.
What kind of bullshit is that?
Well, I mean, we were a Disney family.
All right.
We're a big Disney family.
We're
I mean,
back on,
went
by
to
the way,
Disney
just in case you're
World.
wondering.
Oh, okay. Went to Disney World a lot when I was a kid. A lot relative to most people. Because every year they would do like they would have a week or two where it'd be like your week. It would be like for the residents of Florida, and you get a big discount and all that.
You get a discount anyways, but yeah, you get even more discount that week, right?
Yeah, and so that's when we would tend to go. It was during those weeks when it was cheaper. But my mother would always, because as time went on, it got more and more expensive. I remember at one point my mother was complaining because she said Walt Disney, when he opened the parks, he set the price at a level that was affordable for your standard middle class family because he wanted people to experience the parks.
Yeah.
And he said over time they kept jacking the price up to the point where like that was no longer the spirit of the parks. It was about making money.
Yeah.
And that always upset her.
Gatorade is right. You can't go there without the price of a European vacation. I mean, it's literally thousands of dollars.
It's obscene these days. Absolutely. That's why I haven't been since I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, we had more. There was more money when I was a kid. Well, at this point, probably not. But it was also different, but it was also cheaper. It was a lot cheaper when I was a kid, and so it was a more viable vacation thing. I think the last time we went, someone got some. It was a deal, some special, some deal, something. We stayed at the Nickelodeon Hotel, but we got some ridiculously low rates. That's why we stayed. That's the only reason we stayed there. Because someone got something from work or something. It was one of those things where like you kind of won something, but it didn't make it free. It just made it really affordable.
Right.
But that was years ago, and we could only stay for 2 days because how expensive everything else was. But I tell you what, the Boardwalk Disney. So it's not like it's not part of the park. It's kind of its own place
Downtown
in Orlando.
Disney?
Downtown Disney, yeah. With like Disney Quest, or at least it used to have Disney Quest. Tropical Cafe or whatever it's called. Tropic Cafe. I can't remember the actual name. You go there, dude. They load those drinks up on the boardwalk there.
Yep.
I got it was a Jack and Coke, and it was not. I ordered a double. It was not a double. It was beyond a double. They loaded. They overcharge, but they also load them.
They also give you. Yeah, that was one of the questions that I had earlier when we were talking about how expensive it's gotten. I imagine that the delivery and the quality and the experience maybe is worth it.
Yeah.
It really
That's
depends.
what they shoot for.
Yeah, that's what they're shooting for, right? And that makes sense. I think, yeah. But Gator Rich pointed out that Disney Springs no more. Or sorry, it's Disney Springs now, not Disney Quest.
Disney Quest.
Oh, I wonder what Disney Springs. Because Disney Quest was basically like a giant arcade. It was for as a kid. I only went to Disney Quest 2 or 3 times in my life, but it was every time it was so much fun. The one time I went, I'm pretty sure you could. I think it was. I don't remember exactly how they charged, but I'm pretty sure you could pay a one-time fee, like when you went in, you could play everything infinite times. Quick goal there from __. Who is that? Is that a real?
Dash.
Wait, it's _dash.
Oh, it's _dash. Who is that?
I don't know
Is that
this
a real
person
name?
is.
I'm not that drunk, bro.
Is that a real human? Is that the question?
I think they're new to
No,
Blue.
is that a new player who goes by the name _dash, or is that someone we already know who is just tonight playing under the name _dash?
We need some research. Somebody did some research for us.
Good question.
It says Disney Quest is now the NBA experience.
Oh my.
/ a bar restaurant. I got to see. I got to meet. We happened to be in Orlando for what were we there for? We only went for like one night. I was living in Tallahassee at the time. Me, a buddy, and his girlfriend went to Orlando for like one night. It was 4 of us. Excuse me. We went, and it happened that weekend. Seven Dust was releasing their first album after leaving TVT Records, and so we went to the release party, which was at downtown. It was at Downtown Disney, because there's a big record store down. At least there was a big record store down in there, like a Virgin Records or something like that, like a Virgin Records mega store or something. And so they were doing autographs. If you bought the CD there, you could get an autograph from the band. At the time, that was my favorite band. Like hands down, that was my band. Like I loved Seven Dust.
Yeah.
But we saw the line. It literally wrapped around the giant building, and we were like, no. So we went in. We bought the album anyways, because that's what we were there for. We happened to catch LeJean Witherspoon, the singer, walking back to the line from the bathroom, and my buddy's girlfriend has no shame, and she was just like, "Hey, can we get a picture? What's up, man?" And it was like, because he's a nice guy, he wasn't going to say no, even though we were clearly skipping the line by doing this.
Yeah.
But he was really cool. So as I'm taking the picture, I said his name. I'll never forget this because I was like, LeJean fucking Witherspoon. And he was so tripped that I said his name like that. Like he was like, "Oh, I love that, man. Oh, say it again." Like he loved it.
You announced his name. That's awesome. See, you were doing
That's
it.
funny. Well, this is back in when would this have been? 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
Like, it's a while ago.
That's amazing.
He was super friendly. Oh, and then turns out I didn't know how to work this camera. It wasn't my camera. It was my friend's camera. This is back when before smartphones. So it was a digital camera, is what we had, and it had a delay on when it actually took the picture. So it would do like a pre-flash, but then it would take the picture a second later. I didn't know that, so the picture I got was of their feet.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. She was pissed.
Well done. Well done.
Gatorich says the Virgin Music Store closed and is now an alley. Sorry. What was that?
You've got this story about how you announced his name. That to me is more valuable than seeing that picture.
Yeah, I felt bad. I mean, I wasn't in the picture, so ultimately it didn't mean much to me.
Yeah, it didn't matter to you. That's funny.
And you know what? In retrospect, she deserved worse. I'm not going to say anything else. She was not a good person. Though.
Wow.
Anyways, I shouldn't say anything else.
There we go.
Because she's listening tonight.
Okay,
I'm sure she is.
Since we were talking about amusement parks and Disney, can you imagine the VR sport park? Like, what is that?
Well,
what is the VR park? Like, what is that experience? I know that there's VR at parks right now, but what is the experience of?
I think that's a multifaceted experience. You've got like the full the room scale experiences.
Right.
You know, where like you're in a room in VR, but in a room the same size. So you can walk around and run around and all that. You get sports and shooters, and I mean, those already exist.
Dude, full room AR.
Does that would be really cool? I'm sure it's on its way. If it doesn't exist,
I mean, there's a company that has been doing a magic fighting in AR. I forget what it's called.
Well, I know there's ones that they do VR, and it's a full scale VR, like it's like a shooter, like a first person shooter. But you're running around the room instead of standing still and stick moving or whatever. You're running around like you're in a building, like a 2-story building, and you're running around that 2-story building, and all the walls in the VR experience are coordinated with the actual walls of the place or the arena or whatever.
And the better part is even that the people who are also in the same space are also tracked live and in their exact spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty significant.
Yeah. So stuff like that. So that would be one, but that would only be one of the experiences. Because you're also going to have, your standard VR experiences, but then you would also have like a mixed reality experience, like a half roller coaster, half VR, half, you know what I mean? Like, have you been to the?
We have.
Have you been to? Well, yeah. Have you been to? You happen to be to the Wizarding World or Harry Potter down in Orlando, the Universal Studios?
No,
happen
I'm
to
not
go there? No. The ride there, the Harry Potter ride there. I don't know which Harry Potter ride. I don't know which one it is, but I wrote it, so like I can describe it, but I don't know like what it was called, and there's a few down there. But it's technically a roller coaster, sort of. Not really. Actually, it's not at all. It's not a roller coaster at all. That's right. But basically, you're on like
Escape from Gringotts. Is what Gatorade said.
Yes, Escape from Gringotts. Yes.
Nice.
It's this. It is the wildest experience. You know what? I'll use Spider-Man as a better example. Islands of Adventure. The Spider-Man rides existed a lot longer. Basically, there's this one scene where it's basically a roller coaster, but it's kind of more of a track ride that sometimes acts like a roller coaster. And at one point, you're on top of a building, and then you fly off of the building. And what happens in the ride is you go over the edge, but the roller coaster doesn't lean forward; it stays parallel to the ground and then drops, like the Tower of Terror, right? But not as fast as the Tower of Terror. But that's basically the experience of it. After like a roller coaster style ride, you kind of have this drop. And during that drop, you also have like 3D glasses on, and there's a screen in front of you the whole time you're going down. And Spider-Man and the Green Goblin are having a fight on the hood of the car that's falling down the alley.
Oh my god, that's dope.
And it's wild because like as they're like throwing bombs, there's like a fire goes off over here. You feel the heat. As when they get slammed under the hood of the car, it shakes, and it looks like they're actually there fighting on the hood of the car. Even though when you take the glasses off, they're actually in the screen. You know, it's just 3D done really well. And that's what I imagine, like this mixed experience of a VR headset with maybe some AR elements where like it kind of opens up. You get like the pass through for certain spots or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. I love
roller
that.
coaster kind of ride where there's like an in and out sort of thing.
I love that.
So stuff like that. I think I guarantee you they're already working on them.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm so excited to see all the stuff that's coming in the future.
Me too.
Oh my God, storytelling, games.
Dude, I gotta find. I'll actually look up what it was called. Speaking of storytelling, there is it wasn't a game. It was an experience. It was like a movie, but it wasn't. It was a short. It was like a short film, but it wasn't a film. It was a VR like story. Because I'm currently logged in as SirDimwi, so I have to log in with a proper.
Get the proper.
But it was like a.
Bro.
It was like a movie in VR. And it was gorgeous. Like it looked like I was watching little toys act out a movie. It would cut scene to scene, you know what I mean? But it was so good. It was called I think it was called. I haven't found it yet, but I think it was called The Great Sea. I'm looking it up. Yeah, The Great Sea.
Oh, nice.
And it's on. I don't know if it's on Quest, but it is on PC VR on Oculus. And that was awesome. That was a great little like. Sometimes it was called The Great Sea, and it's the letter C. The Great Sea. And sometimes the characters are as big as you, and you feel like you're in the scene. And other times they look like miniatures, and it looks like you're watching toys play out a scene. It just depends on the cut. There's another one.
Alamet.
What?
Did you ever see Alamet?
No.
The story of the matchstick girl?
No.
That's also, it's not on Steam, it's in the Oculus universe. And it's wonderful. And you basically see the entire map in front of you, and you can kind of zoom in yourself, but it's always the same size. It doesn't zoom in and out the way you're talking about. This sounds really cool, The Great Sea.
How do you spell Alamet?
Alamet, ALLUMETTE.
Missed you. One on red.
I probably added some extra.
Oh no, I remember seeing that. I never played it. I never watched it.
It's wonderful. It's short.
I don't want to check it out though.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story. It's one that, like I definitely would put like parents into, and kids that were younger than 13. I'd be like, oh yeah, you can do something. Like this is really safe and fun. And I had one kid that went into it, and like literally 30 seconds, he was like, "Can I get out?" He was about 5 years old.
Really?
And I looked at him. I said, "What'd you think?" And he said, "Well, it was pretty boring." I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, I have thoughts like that all the time." I was like, "Oh yeah, you're 5 years old. I imagine that your imagination is probably more rich than we could design." Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Also an interesting perspective. There's another one I checked out. I forgot about it. The only reason I remember is because when I was looking up The Great Sea, it's right next to it. It's 1943 Berlin Blitz.
Oh, nice.
And it's basically like it's a BBC experience. The BBC put it out a long time, years and years ago. And you basically you're sitting in the navigator seat of a bomber that's flying over Berlin, that's bombing Berlin.
Oh wow.
And it's fucking unreal. It's very low, like I don't want to say low quality, but it is technically really low quality. But it's not low quality like, you know what I mean? Like nothing, you're not in a bomber. You know what I mean? Like it's not. If you stick your head, if you glitch it and you stick your head outside, like you see how fake everything really is. But if you sit and just sit in the experience, and listen to them talking and listen to the sounds and kind of use the experience proper as how it was made to be experienced, and seeing things out the window, not through the wall, it is really something else. It really gives you this idea of what it would have been like to be inside one of those bombers during that blitz, knowing, Like it's wild. It was one of the coolest little things I remember discovering early on.
Nice. Yeah, that looks interesting. Yeah, I mean that's suspending disbelief, right? Suspending your agency to look through the veil, and just be
Exactly.
in the belief that it's real. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to that, like that notion of allowing yourself to believe what you're seeing, allowing yourself to really like live the story that you're in. I mean,
You know,
this is big stuff right here. This is like the way that we're going to change our brains is through stories told like this.
Yeah. And it also the way it gives you a perspective you can never get in reading it from a book in high school.
Mm-mm.
You know, you can never, you'll never, having never experienced it, you'll never really understand. But getting a closer look, something that close in,
Yeah.
that you can, if you allow yourself, that is, to really experience that moment.
You know, there's an interesting study about stress, and I think it's the same with imagination, and that is that they measured a bunch of people around stress who said they had a very stressful life, and it wasn't whether or not they experienced a lot of stress that was the factor of whether or not they would live a long life. It was whether or not they thought the stress was good for them or bad for them. If they thought stress was bad for them, they lived like 30% less.
Really?
People just believe stress is good for them, that it makes them, it like seasons their life. It makes them stronger and more resilient in the areas that they learn how to be, stressed. Experience stress. Yeah.
It
So I
is
think true about imagination. Like I imagine you use your imagination in those areas you become more confident in, to the degree where like it comes all back to like preparing to get lucky. What's yours? Gosh dang it.
What? Hold on, I think you cut out. What'd you say?
Luck. Tell me your quote on luck.
Oh, because I'm 90% sure you cut out. You got to be good to get lucky.
Got to be good to get lucky.
It's funny bringing up imagination. That was one thing when I was in my mid-20s. When I was a kid, I had a really active imagination. Like I was constantly like going places. In my head, you know what I mean? If I was in the shower, going to the bathroom, any idle time, I was off on an adventure. And at some point, I stopped doing that. And I don't know when it was, but I remember one night I was thinking to myself, I was like, wait, when did I stop doing that? I was like, why did I stop doing that?
Stop doing that. I want to go adventure.
Exactly. So I literally, this is the next time I went to the restroom, that's all, we'll just say that. The next time I went to the restroom, I went to space. I'm not even kidding. Like I let my imagination turn my bathroom into a rocket ship and send me to space.
Yeah.
On some mission. And suddenly, it's like, it was honest to God, it was like flipping a switch. Suddenly, my imagination returned, and I was doing that all the time.
Yeah.
And I was constantly going places. Like when I was laying down for bed, I was going somewhere. When I'm trying to sleep, I'm off on some adventure somewhere. I do it. I still kind of do it now, not as much as I did then. And it's not like I stopped doing it, but it's I haven't lost it. It's like before I had lost. It's like I lost it.
Yeah.
But it was weird. It was like I flipped the switch. Like I turned my imagination back on.
Yeah, that's huge. That's like what a gift. I can imagine life with your imagination on is a much more interesting.
It is. It's much more colorful.
Yeah.
And oh man, it makes me like it had me. At one point, it had me writing literally writing stories, and I can't write stories. I'm not a writer, but I shouldn't say can't. But I'm not gonna be one to publish a book.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, I get that urge. I'll just sit down and whatever comes out, whatever story, whatever silly thing, whatever it is comes out. I'll just sit there for 2 or 3 hours and let it all out. And it's really, I haven't done that in a while, but it's a really satisfying kind of thing, It's just, and it's nice, and I think it helps in other things. It lets you like stuff like that. That's where out of the box thinking comes from.
Right. So let me throw something at you because you're the I mentioned about Wheel of Time, being repeated. The other thing that's repeating in the Echo community, I'm hearing from a lot of people saying, I'm not very good at networking. And that's something that's incredibly natural for me. I'm really good at networking, and there are some things that are techniques, and some things are just the way I'm designed. But there is definitely a way that I could help people who identify as not very good at networking to get better at it. Would you be interested in something like that?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Depending on possibly. And that's not doubts in whatever you're pitching. I'm yeah, probably. I'm curious because I am. That's why I'm really bad at networking. My networking. It tends to rely on other people networking with me. Does that make sense?
Like you have someone who you know going into a scenario with people you don't know.
No, it's more I go into a scenario and those people I don't know are the ones that connect to me.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I'm a very passive, so like
allow people to gravitate.
Yeah, like if somebody connects with me, I can hold that connection.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I'm not good at, like I said, like once I joined Beer League and there was that, I suddenly had an avenue to connect to people and people could connect to me. I suddenly was connecting with a whole bunch of people. Before I joined Beer League, I met a million people. I knew all of them. None of them were on my friends list.
So another way of saying it, I imagine, like if you're just in a soup of people, you're gonna bump into people who you connect to. But if you aren't putting yourself into those communities where you can bump into people, then like that's where you say I'm bad at networking because you don't go seek out the connections
Basically,
if there's not that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, there's a really cool tool that Google put together this year, or last year actually, during the pandemic, called Lunch Club. Have you heard of this?
No.
Oh, Lunch Club is great. You basically create several slots each week. You can do 1 slot, 2 slots. Sometimes I did 3 slots a week, and you invite people, or they match make you with people who are similarly interested to you based on a survey that you fill out. So you say like, I'm interested in esports, or I'm interested in virtual reality,
Really?
or I'm interested in, I don't know, Tolkien. And then it matches you with people that have similar interests and that might be complementary. And then you have a 45-minute meeting with them that is completely non-obligatory. Like you don't have to do anything past that meeting. But sometimes, like I've had some really incredible connections just one-on-one for 45 minutes that have absolutely made my day.
What's it called?
It's called Lunch Club. Here, I'll drop it into...
Lunch Club.
I'll put it in the chat.
Very interesting.
There you go. With my referral link, too. Haha.
Nice.
Gator Rich vouches for me, too. He gave me a very good at award.
Yeah, no, there are a few folks that in the community that do have a knack for it. I also wonder, is it some? I mean, not okay. I was about to ask, is it something that can be learned? Obviously, it is. That's not the question I'm trying to ask.
Yeah.
Am I the kind of person that because
I'll push him. He's scared of me.
Because it's like nature versus nurture. What you're wired, you're like some people can, some people can't, some people already can, some people are capable of, but do not currently. You know what I mean? And is that I wonder? I don't know. Because I need to be able to network better.
Are you asking? Do I have what it takes to become good at networking?
Yeah, am I wired to be receptive to that? Yeah.
The answer to that question is in your answer to this question. Do you care about people and the relationships with the people who you meet? Like, do you care? Is it important to you? What's up, B-Lo?
I care about people.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where it all starts, right? Do you give a damn to spend some time, right? So then the next part is all communication, and really what I mean by that is it is 99.9 infinite listening. That is what we lack in communication is listening.
Oh, sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't catch it.
You did.
I'm just kidding. Sorry. I'm
Well
sorry.
timed.
I had
No,
to.
well
I had to.
timed. Bravo. Cheers to that.
It was a perfect setup.
For sure. I'll drink to that. That was well timed. Slam.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Sir derail. It's Sir derail at your service.
I was on the soapbox.
No, get back on your soapbox. I do that. I'm scatterbrained. I'm fucking all over the place. I do that shit.
Yeah.
Don't. I'm not trying to shut you down. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're not shutting me down. That's
Okay.
good. Yeah, this is but networking is good stuff. I think that it would be good for our community to learn to network well because I think that's some of the stories of that we all have some element of, like, we met somebody and that solidified why we would keep playing or why we did a certain thing as my buddy was playing or I had a good experience with these people. Like, I think that networking is what we do. We actually do it really well. Like, I would argue that you're really good at networking, actually. Ooh, that was almost in.
It was. I take your point because there, and I guess it was more. I don't know what. Because it was that thing. The catalyst was the moment I joined Beer League.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's when suddenly my friends list started going up.
Yeah.
Suddenly I started getting folks on the friends list. Suddenly I started getting invited to things. Suddenly I was there was somebody. Not only was I getting on a team, somebody wanted me on their team. That was Essen. Essen was like, please try out for Nova. Please try out for Nova.
Yeah.
Venom didn't feel the same way, but
desire to be a part of something with others is a sense of belonging.
Yeah, I do. In fact, owe Beer League a lot, but it's point take because you're right because I have networked at this point.
Yeah, you are networked.
Yes.
You are known in the community and you know the community. This is how that bond works.
Which is still pretty wild.
Right. I mean, just imagine even the Beer League community. Like, imagine if each one of us met one person who we enjoyed playing the game with or introducing the game with. I don't know, once a month, once a year. Like, the community then grows because we met somebody that we liked and we wanted to be in the community.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of stuff gets me excited about bringing what I know and the few things that I've tried that work for me to the mix.
Oh, Doc's in the game.
Who is?
Doc Education. I don't know, but he filled in for whoever. Filled in for whoever bailed out.
The cans lost one.
Gator Rich is down with that lunch, the lunch business. Lunch club.
Lunch.
I haven't pulled it up. I'll be looking into it once we're done with the cast here.
There you go.
That's one thing, because now that the other thing. So you made, and this isn't padding, a self-aggrandizing thing, but you mentioned my voice earlier, and that I have a good voice for what I'm doing. Basically, you didn't say that, but that's kind of that's a fair assessment. Okay.
Yeah. Good summary.
So that's something like I always hated that. Well, everybody hates the sound of their voice, but I hated the way, I actually brought this up earlier, that I hated the way I enunciated. I hated the way I formed words. So the lazy tongue thing. I have a slight lisp. I still have a slight lisp.
Yeah.
But so the idea of doing anything with the voice was never on my radar, ever. Like anything voice, like the idea of doing a show of some sort, but like my voice being a selling point. Oh my goodness, what a sell. Prime's a troll.
Dirty. So dirty.
Wow.
That's what we call cheese right there, folks.
Yeah.
That is the cheese.
So one of the things, in attempting to kind of make a career out of Echo in some way, and it may be through casting, we'll time will tell. But I've also had to, you have to just accept, but like plan for eventual failure. What's the backup plan? What is the pivot? What do you go? What if this does not work? What can you pull from this that you've learned that is valuable?
Yeah.
And transition into something else. And so I've been like looking into voice work. Different, like character work, commercial stuff, like anything. And I haven't actually looked that much into it, but like being able to network beyond, because you make a point within Echo, I am very well networked.
Yeah.
But outside of Echo, I'm still a bad networker.
Yeah.
So being my interest in something like Lunch Club is that I would like to be able to make some other connections outside of the Echosphere.
Yeah.
That still involve this thing I'm doing, even if it's a tangential involvement. Like it's not casting, but maybe I'm voicing a character in a cartoon.
Bingo. Yeah, absolutely. I could totally see that. Dude, you should absolutely consider voice acting. I've got several voice coaches that I work with. In fact, this woman in Charlotte, just around the corner, her name is Lisa Biggs. She's like 5'2", and she is the squeaky voice that you hear in just about every animated small
She on TikTok?
girl. She probably does have a TikTok. Yes, Lisa Biggs. I don't know if it's if I can find it, I'll send it to you.
There's a TikToker that you're making me think of. She does voice work, and she's like
amazing.
I don't know if squeaky voice is the right word, but like it's a very,
it's a
very,
lovely voice. I mean, yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but I'm curious. I am curious. Because you have to plan for potential failure. Not everything works out the way you plan. Just like I never intended to go into casting.
Yeah, here you are.
I gotta prepare for that pivot. You gotta be good to get lucky, right?
Yep.
I gotta prepare. That's the being good. I gotta prepare for that. And voice work. I started looking at like trying to find like local talent agencies. Try to find local work, stuff nearby that I could drive to. Nothing crazy. Just to start building a resume. Because I'm already building. That's the other cool thing, and I didn't realize it till I'd already been doing it for a while. Even just the casting thing, which I was doing originally for fun. I was building a resume.
Yeah.
Which you know what I mean? All the 3-minute meta stuff, is part of a portfolio.
Yep.
Which is wild. That's all that stuff. Like, I never thought of it that way until I was doing so much, and it kind of clicked one day. I was like, oh, this can be that, and that, yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. I say keep going. Palador's sneaking it in. Wow. It was almost like he waited. Just taunting. Putting it right on their shoulder.
That was some real Adam shit. What the fuck? Who was that? I did not recognize the voice. It was not Palador. It was not Psycha. It was not Doc. Wasn't Cool Whip. Was it Smooth? It could have been Smooth.
Smooth. I don't know what daylight sounds like. That's a smooth saying. Rich said.
When did Palador start playing Beer League? A few weeks ago? He's been in Beer League for a long time. He's been in Beer League since probably the beginning. He just never played because he wasn't actively playing the game. But when he started playing in the Pro Series, he started playing a lot of places everywhere. And I've still yet to play with him. Still, the last time I played with Palador was in ESL. Yeah.
Wow.
It was against each other. Back the first week of, what was it the first week? When was it? We would have played, no, it would have been Season 2 of ESL was the last time I played him. Yeah, because he didn't play in Season 3. Or either he didn't play or we just never played his team.
Oh. Goalie maybe?
So yeah, I still need to play with Paladors. Either with him or against him. I don't even care. I've never been able to measure him up. You know what I mean? I've never been able to measure up Palador. Like I've been able to measure up everybody.
I hear a 1v1 coming on.
So newsflash, he's a hella defender and midfielder.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm confident of that. He was a backliner back. Well, I don't know if backliner is the right word.
Yeah,
but
he's a gangler, so he's definitely got the wingspan.
He reads like crazy.
Yeah.
He will not miss a bounce.
Let's do the thing where we scored this time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Defensive mind is strong, super strong.
It's wild because like I've casted so much with him. We've casted every single North American finals together.
Yeah. But
I've never played with him.
Never been in the arena together.
I've never been in the arena with him.
That's
we
wild.
played both in beer league last week. Our teams just didn't happen to not play.
There's a moment coming. Like, when do we get to have this moment?
I feel like this is something that needs to be like broadcast.
I think so. Like this has to be an event.
I may have casted over 100 games before I got in a match with Luke. Luke's my Palador,
Really?
essentially. Yeah, me and Luke are inseparable. We've done probably 200 games together. But I literally did not play with a single pub with him until after season 3. Well, maybe, it was in season 4. Literally, mid-season 4 probably. A long time in before we ever played together.
Where are the bad guys? I don't trust this. Oh, I screwed that up.
You got.
It's a close match. It's actually the closest match that Kansas has had all night.
I really hope all this shit. I really hope this game gets as big as we all hope it does. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We all deserve it to get, right?
Dude, it's fucking.
That's a shot.
Oh wow, smooth.
Crap, smooth riding. Echoholics.
Get fucked.
Exactly. That is a well wish.
That crease in the nest right there. It was like he had it lined up like a reticle.
Yep. That was good. I looked into. I looked into the new Battlefield game because I'm not a big FPS player. I'm not a big first-person shooter player. Like I'll play some. I'm not like against them. I'm just not. It's not my genre typically. There's some games I've played, and like I played the Blizzard FPS. I always forget the name of it. But anyways, and it's getting review bombed. It's apparently really bad, and it's just all the reviews are things like, I wanted a Battlefield game. I haven't played since Battlefield 4, and I'm like, that's where I'm at. I haven't played since Battlefield 4. I wanted a new Battlefield game because Battlefield 1 took helicopters out, that was my thing. Battlefield 5 still didn't have helicopters. So that's my thing, is helicopters. Battlefield, and all the reviews are just, it's so bad.
I love flight altogether. Like anytime I can fly a craft, I'm in.
B-Love says, Dim, this game is huge in my mind. It's massive. I'm talking about Echo. It's not big enough, man.
It's going to get bigger. I mean, it's
absolutely.
I think you and I are seeing the growth in the future, and if we keep doubling in size, like that's big really fast.
Yeah. And the Quest, that was like it was more than it was like 5 times as big or 7 times. It was extreme. The season 3, season 2, season 1 to season 3, basically the season 2 and season 3, like those 2 seasons, saw extreme growth. We did double from the end of season 2 to the end of season 3. We doubled 200 teams to 400, but between season 1 and season 2, we went from like 30 teams to over 200.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it was more than double the initial jump. It was massive. It was huge. Because it used to, like as everyone talks about, it used to be everyone knew each other. Right. Everybody knew everybody.
Oh yeah, I mean, you would go into pubs and you'd know somebody that you played with yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to see Ender in pubs all the time.
You don't see anybody that you know.
No, nobody. Well, sometimes people know me, but
yeah, sure.
Sorry, that's a shitty joke.
Yeah,
that's a shitty joke.
And it's not never. Yeah, also, like if you play enough pubs, you're running.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll run into somebody.
But
generally,
maybe
yeah,
it's big enough that you don't know everybody.
And we're
I mean, I don't even know everybody in beer league. Like I know most of these people, but there's a handful of
people now
tonight that I have been like, oh, I've never met this person. Underscore is one of them we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, beer league has gotten so big. There's so many people joining. I'm like, oh my goodness.
I love it.
That's a ton of people. 300 people. It's a ton.
Yeah.
B Love says cross-platform would help. Well, it's never going to be cross-platform, but I don't think that's going to matter. Because I'll tell you why. Facebook, excuse me, Meta or whatever. Meta. They're shooting. The Oculus headset is going to be the headset. It's going to be now. Is it going to be as ubiquitous as they want it to be? We'll see. But is it going to be the biggest for a while, for at least 10 years? Absolutely. And on top of that, Echo Arena is by and large the biggest VR sport. Absolutely the biggest VR sport and VR esport. None of them come close. Now, Beat Saber, like if they have a big tournament, they will pull bigger numbers. There's also a new shooter coming out that might actually dwarf us. That Veil, it's not out yet, but the interest in that game is enormous. That game might actually
and the like you have a campaign mode and you have versus. Is that right?
I don't know. I just know it's a shooter and that it's got a major interest. I've been their Discord server is huge. It's huge, so much bigger than the Echo Discord server. But they don't have like a league yet. They don't have anything like that. They don't have an esport yet. But eventually they will, and at that point. But right now we're the biggest. We are the biggest by far the biggest esport. And obviously we could get passed up, but our ceiling has always been headset sales. Always been headset sales. It's a matter of the number of headsets is how our numbers go up.
Yeah.
I mean that is our only ceiling. That's the only. There's no. You know what I mean? We could advertise the hell out of this game. The player base isn't going to get that much bigger unless there are more headsets getting sold.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's interesting. What'd you say, New Dad?
It's a game.
It's the numbers game.
No, that's the end of the game.
And that's game. Is that the end of our night?
End of our night.
Yeah, it's the last game. Yeah.
Third of third.
Yeah, we went almost 3 hours.
We made it.
Good people though.
No casualties.
No casualties.
No casualties.
Flawless.
So I can see you later, Doc.
Finish him.
Good seeing you again.
Good stuff.
Yeah, this was a good time.
No, Gator, there was no bruise on the news. It's obviously not a proper POGcast. Gilligan not here tonight.
We carried on best we could.
Yeah. Basically, this was just a podcast with
Gator,
the game
you showed
going
it
in the
because you love
background.
us, damn it.
You know it.
All right.
Good stuff. So, all right. Good stuff. I have been SirDimwi.
I have been Sheepsknuckles.
And I've been Newton Dad.
We're gonna go.
We're gonna go.
Good night.
Bye.
Goodbye.